The Jake Asman Show will begin shortly. Thanks to all these great Patreon members who help support the show. Get your super chats ready. Jake will be here in just a moment. If you love the New York Jets, this is the place to be. And now, the Jake Asman Show.
The New York Jets draft is in the books. People are outraged about a particular day 3 pick, but a Jets insider is here to tell you why. You need to calm down. We'll talk about that and more. It's the Jake Asman Show, and it starts right now. Man, our Jets are primed to win another offseason, baby.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.
Each and every day. Will the playoff drought finally end? Kings of the offseason, baby. This is what we do. At least we have Garrett Wilson. We have Breece Hall. Please subscribe and hit the like button below. Super chat, baby. Cut the line. We have Sauce Gardner. We have Quinn Williams. Prepare to be underdogs. Now it's time to talk all things New York Jets. It's the Jake Asman Show. Here we go here on a Tuesday. I hope everyone is having a fantastic start to their week. Little PSA at the top of the show. If you go to jakeasman.com right now and click on the tab that says Draft Party Photos, you could check out some of the best photos from our epic Asmaniac Draft Party in New York City last Thursday. Thank you again to Fireman Ed for being there. Thank you to everyone who came out. Over 200 of you packed Clinton Hall. And it was an absolute blast, and some of the photos reflect how epic of an evening it was. I posted a bunch in our Discord channel. If you're a Patreon member, you already saw it. But if you want to check out the full album, check out jakeasman.com, and you'll see the tab to watch the entire photo album. With that said, let's say hello to our Tuesday regular guest, the great Robbie Sabo, the co-founder of JetX, jetsxfactor.com. Robbie, happy Tuesday. Let's go Knicks tonight. How are you?
Yeah, man, let's go Knicks. Hey, was it a foul on Tim Hardaway?
Was it a foul? Yes, but given the way it was officiated, could you call that there? Absolutely not.
I completely agree. In today's day and age, it was a foul. The way it's been officiated, no. But what really cements it is, man, Hart got fouled on the way
right
there. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah.
So, yeah, let's go Knicks. And yeah, what a ragtag group you guys had for that party. My goodness.
It was something, man. Obviously, we hope you could make it in the future or come to a watch party. But you were there in spirit, my man. But it was a great time. And I think, at least for night one, most Jet fans either wanted one or two players, right? It was Tyler Warren or Armand Membu. And even if you're someone who maybe leaned Warren, I think I was 51-49, take Warren. I'm totally on board with Armand Membu. I really like what the Jets did on day 2 as well. I think most people in the fan base did from that standpoint too. But then you get the day 3, and I want to get right into it because you and I were talking before the show, and unlike many out there, you want to take the stance of, hey, the New York Jets made a smart pick at pick number 110 with Arian Smith. So Robbie, the floor is yours. Let's get right into the controversial pick that everyone's freaking out about. Your thoughts on Arian Smith, the wide receiver from Georgia, and why you believe it's actually a great pick, a tremendous pick was the term you used in our text messages before the show.
Yeah, I was at the Jets facility Thursday night, not there for Arian Smith, not there Friday or Saturday. So, when they made that pick, I kind of wish I was there, but it signals, listen, I get it. It's the day, it's where it is. It's round 4. I understand. A lot of people had him in round 6 as a grade. Everyone views it as a reach. I understand it. But once we get to the mid rounds, you got to throw all that stuff away. You grab players. The positioning is so much more important at the top of the draft. Mid rounds, late rounds, you grab players that fit you. And why I think it's tremendous, not the specific player per se, but grabbing Arian Smith signals that the offense has a plan supported by the other players they grabbed. Everyone Glenn grabbed serves to help the identity along. Membu, right side mauler. They're going to run the hell out of the ball. Malachi Moore fits the strong safety in the box type safety Glenn loves to use. Mason Taylor, obviously a need. I don't think he's a big fit. It's just they needed a tight end really badly. And Arian Smith, well, the corner too. I'm not even going to Thomas.
AZ
Tall.
Thomas, yep.
Yeah. How do you say his first name?
AZ Thomas is what we're calling him.
AZ is good with me.
Azarie, I believe, is how it's pronounced, but I've heard
Azarie.
I heard Muji refer to him as AZ, and I'm like, perfect.
Yeah, AZ's good. He's not fast. I mean, this 40 time wasn't great, but Glenn said on the call that he thinks it was a bad day. It's not exactly his speed, but he's the perfect guy for the Glenn scheme. He blitzes a lot, so get physical. You know, he's not crazy tall, but lankier, taller. I think he's 6'1" or 6 foot and change. He's not 5'10" like Michael Carter. Get physical guys at the line, hard flats, trail, bail. Another perfect identity scheme guy. Arian Smith, look, he deals with drops, no question about it. Former track star. I think he had the 4th best 40 time at the combine, 11th or tied for 10th overall at the combine. He's a burner. We could argue this was their most dire need, a straight line burner at receiver. Right now, they have nothing in terms of speed. And what it does is it takes everything off the top of the defense. When you're playing offense, you play within a box. And we saw it with Zach Wilson. We even saw it with Rodgers last year. Their box was so restricted. And we'd see corners break on the ball. We'd see safeties break on the ball. And everything felt so congested. Why? Because there's no burner to get everything vertical, to get everything deep. And that's what he does. Not only that, north-south burner, but it's east-west too with jet motion. Yeah, he's a track star. And when you look at track stars, you gotta think, okay, he has the speed, but does he have the hips? Is he agile enough? Can he cut? Can he make those moves necessary? Does he have the vision? And you know, when watching the tape at Georgia, he does. And there's room for improvement there. He's fluid. So even though he's not polished as a route runner, there's stuff there that tells me he can improve. But most importantly, it's the vision for the offense. If Rodgers was still the quarterback, I would hate the pick. But it's Justin Fields. And with Justin Fields, you need that vertical threat to get guys to turn around so he could scramble for more yards. And that vertical threat to open it up for Garrett and Mason Taylor underneath, Brees out of the backfield. So that's kind of why I love the pick. It means something. It's not just the player. It's what it means at that time.
But don't you think, hey, if you love the player, you have to understand the draft consensus, the draft board, and not take him at 110?
There's no guarantee he'll be there. Like that's the thing. Like,
but you really think another team was going to take a guy that had a 7th round grade from Dom C, a 6th round grade from Connor Rodgers? PFF had him as the 49th at a 49th rated wide receiver. The consensus had him in like the 260s.
With the top 10 40 time, yes. Like there's no question. That stands out. That is very valuable, extremely precious. Yes.
Well, the Jets must have thought that too, because they're the ones who took him at 110. See, I think if they maybe took him at 130 in the trade up, maybe the perception's a little different if they got him where they took Malachi Moore instead. I don't know.
Yeah. Listen, I get that completely. And my biggest criticism of the draft is no D tackle. They're hurting. They're going to need to do something. So I get that. And I love the kid that went after Arian Smith. So that's a punch too. But
Ty Robinson.
Yeah. But I just can't get wrapped up in 4th round, being that particular in terms of where he's going. You know, I saw someone in the comments say, oh, he's fast. That doesn't mean he's a good football player. This isn't Madden. You could say the same thing about the draft board in the 4th round. Like Shador Sanders, what was he, a top 3 pick? Where did he? It happens all the time. And
that's
when
an extreme example, though.
Of course, but there's other examples too. And
sure. I mean, we all love the Denzel Mims pick. He couldn't play, right? And he was a 2nd round pick. So
yes. And he wasn't a burner. Like again, if it was a Rodgers, Peyton Manning offense, I would hate the pick. I would go nowhere near the guy because he needs to understand the system. He needs to study up. There's a big leap from college to the NFL. But in this offense, I think Corley's going to play. I think this kid's going to play. It's not going to be a big curve to get in there. And Does he have the hands? He's got issues, no question about it. But the beautiful part about it is the speed element, north and south, vertical, and east and west, sideline to sideline. I, I don't care if you can't catch a damn ball. The DBs still have to respect it and back up. So while it's not perfect, it still serves that purpose. He's never going to be a receiver one. You can't look at him as a potential star. You have to look at him for what he is. And from that regard, I think I love the pick.
Do you think he's going to get on the field right away, though? Like, that's my thing. If he's such a bad route runner and he's such a bad receiver from like a catch standpoint, dropping almost 17% of his passes this past year, which is among the highest for any regular starter in college football. Yeah. They're going to trust him to go on the field right away. You think he's going to play like how many plays as a rookie?
I think he'll be on the field right away, not starting, but he'll be in there. In
like a decoy?
You can call it a decoy, but as the vertical element.
Like the guy that clears open the routes underneath.
The vertical element. And look, the hands, when you're catching the ball, yes, he's got to work on it, but the easier catch especially for him with the speed, is the over the top, over the shoulder catch. Digs and curls and all that stuff. That's much tougher, granted. And he's not going to run streaks and posts and nines every freaking time. Of course not. But he's going to serve a specific purpose. Is he going to play every play? No. Will it take a couple games? Sure, maybe. But I think he's going to have a role right away.
Well, it will be interesting to see how they deploy him because they badly needed speed in that wide receiver room. They had the slowest wide receiver room by far in the NFL. And now you add some legit speed in Arian Smith, but if he can't catch, that's obviously a huge issue. They clearly like the work ethic and the character. They brought him in for a visit. I know John Gruden raved about that. He knows him personally too. So, yeah, I mean, they're obviously betting on his ability to improve and their ability to coach him up.
Yes, and they also know who they are. And if you don't know now, I mean, it's ridiculous. They're going to lead the league in rushing attempts.
They better.
It's just the way it is, and I don't expect him to have a lot of catches. I think his yards per catch are going to be through the roof. But he's going to serve a specific purpose. Whether or not he works out in the long term, I don't know. It's a 4th round pick. I think Malachi Moore obviously has a much better chance of working out. No question about it. But from a strategic principle perspective, yeah, I just don't understand about. I don't understand the perspective of hating the pick. In other words,
some, not everyone, some are outraged. My stance is they clearly reached, but it's also a day 3 pick. And if you liked the first 2 days, that's way more important than anything that happens on day 3 when there's an 80% chance that no matter who you picked, it's probably not going to pan out. That's just what the stats tell you.
100%. It's a day 3 pick. It's 4th round. Look, if we looked back at the last couple of draft classes, and I haven't done this, and shoot me in my neck if I ever do this, but you could go through so many examples like, oh, they had the grade on this guy and he went here, and it's nonsense half the time. So the fact that they filled specific needs and went with identity is the real theme for me in terms of AG's first draft.
I just think not addressing defensive tackle, though, that to me is a real criticism, and more of a criticism than even the Arian Smith pick. People are more caught up in that. I think not drafting a DT in a draft that had a historic amount of defensive tackles that went, I think is a big mistake by the Jets, who right now, I don't believe they're going to be able to stop the run consistently. Sure, the defensive coaching, I'd imagine, will be better. They'll play like more of a team, but we're relying on Derek Nandi to play next to Quinnen Williams. I just think not taking a legit starting defensive tackle that was available at either 110 or even 130, there were some guys. I think that's a mistake, and I'm hoping it's because they're going to sign a veteran defensive tackle. There's some names out there that are intriguing. Foley Fatukasi, our good friend, is available. I know he had an injury thing last year, but maybe he's healthy now. Jordan Phillips, Maurice Hurst, a couple names to look at. I don't like the idea of not even tapping into the strength of the draft, which was DT, and you had a glaring need.
Agreed and fair. That is the one in terms of negatives. That's the one that I'm all over. I don't love it either. There were plenty of chances to do so, and they didn't do it. But they leaned offense in this draft. Let's face it. It's just so much for the they're going to go defense early with those 3 reports right away. My
Thank
goodness. Membo. And it was curious because usually one guy gets it and then others back it up, but at the same time, all 3. So it just felt like smoke to me. Membu, Taylor, the corner, Arian Smith, they really focused on offense, and I'm glad they did because for Engstrand and Fields to run this specific offense, you really need to turn it around and turn it over. And it's going to be a project. There's going to be a steep learning curve early. And I think that's the same for against the run rushing D, because they're going to be learning new techniques in terms of reacting, especially in the interior on defense. Who's can be that run eater, that block eater? I don't know. It's a good question, Jake.
Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. We're talking with Robbie Sabo. I mean, ultimately, they go Membu, safe pick, makes sense. I do wonder, though. Well, I guess we might never know this for a while, and even if we do get an answer, who knows that they're going to be telling the truth one day. If Mason Graham had been there, what would have been the pick? Because it kind of went the way we thought it was going to go until about the last week or so, as far as the 6 players in front of the Jets going in the order we thought it would basically go. Now, it was a little different with the Travis Hunter trade. We didn't have Cleveland taking him, but we had Mason Graham being gone. We had Hunter being gone, Cam Ward being gone. We thought there was a legit chance Shador would be there and the Jets would pass or try and trade out if anyone wanted him. But in a scenario where Mason Graham was there, Robbie, I wonder if it was Graham versus Membu, what player they would have made.
It's a good question. I don't know for sure, but gun to my head, I would say Membu. They love Membu. Here's the quote from Thursday night from Glenn, and he was happy. Like we've seen Glenn be ornery in interviews. He gets on Samini a lot. He got on Antoine. I saw Antoine on your show last week or 2 weeks ago. His quote: "He's mean, he's nasty, he's tough. He fits what we're trying to do on offense. He really fits what we're trying to do. So it was a no-brainer." And then Membu spoke afterwards on Zoom. I'm sure you guys saw the quotes. He's just confident. He's confident. He's like, I'm a mauler.
Shortest answers ever, too, by the way.
Yes.
He is a quick soundbite. Like, he'll answer your question, but it is in a sentence or 2 at the most.
Yeah, dude. And he does it with a smile, or, knowing there's fire behind those eyes because he just wants to drive you into the dirt and step on your face. And that is the attitude. I'm not saying Graham doesn't have that, but I think from a pure need perspective and needing to improve this offense and needing to get to this offense off on the right foot under Engstrand, completely different type of offense, 180-degree turn from Rodgers. You couldn't drastically flip an offensive vision as drastically as they are doing from 2024 to 2025. It is insane. I think it would have been Membo.
So your thoughts now on the state of this roster then, right? We talked about the defensive tackle situation. We know that Muji has come out and he has said that he's going to continue to try and improve the roster wherever they can and all that, cliche GM talk that every general manager says. Let's talk about maybe the starters from this draft class and then go more in depth on the state of this roster. We know Membu's a starter. Feels like Taylor is going to be a starter. After that, your thoughts on how many starters are coming out of this draft class right away?
Membu, Taylor, I think Malachi Moore will get in there. Now, it'll be interesting to see, when we're there at training camps, and OTAs will know nothing, but training camp, how much does Glenn force the rookies to earn it? Is Saleh, one of the things I agreed with him on, and he did a good job of, is he really wanted the rookies to earn it. He didn't hand Sauce the starting job until late August. Him and Bryce Hall were still rotating, which was just mind-boggling. But I think Malachi Moore will eventually get there. Arian Smith, no, he's not going to be receiver 2, but he's going to have a role. And I would say no initially, but he has a chance because when you look at the cornerbacks that they have, And no one, Brandon Stevens does too, obviously, and he got paid, so he has a chance. But I would say he's the third outside corner, and he's going to be the first backup to either Sauce or Brandon Stevens because he fits that mold of physical outside corner, press, play against or play with really heavy, gamed up front, 5-6 man rushes.
AZ Thomas, I think, is going to be a really good player. I
You
don't know
think
the
you're
role
high
for
on
him.
AZ?
I am, because I think I think that was all value there. I think they maybe wanted a player that got picked right in front of them, and rather than reach at a different position, they had this guy high on their board. He's an
Yep.
Aaron Glenn corner to a T. I think they
Perfect.
wanted someone with that energy, that attitude in the room to kind of help Sauce Gardner. And I think his ability to be a press man corner right away, because he had so much experience in college, it's going to help what they want to do on Wilkes' defense, because they're going to blitz a lot more and ask their corners to play man coverage more as the pass rush is trying to get home.
100%. And then you got Tony Adams versus Malachi Moore. How they deploy the safeties will be interesting.
Stevens could move. My first thought when I was doing the mega cast and I was breaking this down with Dylan
To safety.
and Dom C, yeah, we're like, I guess this means Moore goes to safety, or Stevens goes to safety potentially. And then they drafted Moore, but they paid Stevens starter level money, so he's going to start somewhere. They're not going to bench him after giving him a 3-year contract where like 2 of it's guaranteed. So he's on the team. I'm curious the role, because I think Thomas has a chance to play right away.
He does, but I don't think Stevens is going to safety. You have, okay, so the way I look at it is you have 3 outside corners: Stevens, AZ, Sauce. Then you have nickel, Michael Carter. Who's the backup nickel is the question. You're not putting Sauce in there. You're not
Thomas
putting
is too big to do it.
Yeah, you're not putting those guys in there. Stevens, I don't know. Malachi Moore, what's his man? You don't want Malachi Moore on man. So when they go big nickel, if Carter's out or he's hurt, that's going to be a real question mark to me. But safeties, Cisco's the perfect center fielder. Malachi Moore in the box. Tony Adams, I think, he's going to stay at safety, but I think he's the backup to Michael Carter. He used to play cornerback. He could play man coverage. So I think Michael Carter, if you think about it with a 1 high, free safety, 2 outside corners, you got your nickel, Michael Carter, then you got your strong safety, Malachi Moore. Adams could take either of those spots, and either of those spots is like the Brian Branch role when you look at Detroit with Aaron Glenn. So he's configuring it in that way, I think.
Does it concern you that they're trying to be too much like the Lions? Like, I understand that's where Glenn comes from. He wasn't the head coach there. He coached one side of the ball. And what I mean by that is, saying that Arian Smith, I had Jamison Williams, and people said the same thing about his drops. Like, I'm sorry, Jamison Williams was a baller. He was at Ohio State. He was at Alabama. He was a top 15 pick for a reason. Like, you can't compare Jamison Williams to Arian Smith. I like the Malachi Moore pick for what it's worth, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing. But when they asked Glenn about it, well, he reminds me of Brian Branch. I called up Brian Branch, and he said he's a dog.
Yes.
Like, not should everything be the Lions? That's
No.
basically what I'm asking here.
No, it doesn't concern me. Sure. I mean, listen, you had me when the Rodgers thing happened. Fields, everyone knows my feeling on Fields. Can he work out as quarterback of the Jets? Yes, but the coaching better be up to par, and they better have an idea of what they're doing, and they better do it the right way. If he has no threat of the run, there's just no way he's succeeding. So even the Rodgers, that kind of move is sort of Lions-esque in a way. They get rid of Stafford, they bring in Goff, and then Goff resurrects his career. And I still think Goff isn't great. I think it was coaching, but so yeah, of course, it's a concern. But in terms of just strategy and how they're thinking about these guys, that's kind of how I'm laying it out. My thinking in terms of, the fundamentals and the principles of what they're trying to do with personnel.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Quick reminder, the Jake Asman Show is available in audio form wherever you get your podcast, Apple or Spotify. So search Jake Asman Show and listen to anything you might have missed live. Announcement. Yesterday, we gave away all 7 prizes in our Asmaniac raffle. I have been in touch with 6 of the 7 winners. I need to find Coach James Rodriguez. James, email me if you're out there so I could send you your signed Joe Namath jersey. But now we're on to raffle number 25. And this week's prize is one of the best we've ever given away. A full-sized throwback Broadway Joe signed helmet. That is prize number 1. It comes with a display case, and as you see on the left there, the certificate of authenticity from Steiner Sports. Prize 2, a signed Justin Fields helmet. Prize 3, a signed Joe Klecko helmet. So 3 epic prizes as we continue to ride the momentum following the NFL draft. But get the membership to be in. $10 super chats are now eligible for raffle prizes. You could get 2 tickets when you send in a super chat of $10. You can get 5 when you send in a super chat of 20, 10 when you send in 50, and 20 when you send in 100. All right, a couple super chats here. This one is from Dick Chimney's Burner. It's not fair to be too harsh. By the way, Rich Samini will join the show tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time. Speaking of Dick Chimney's Burner here. It's not fair to be too harsh. No full offseason for new coach/GM. Have to scout your own players. Identify needs. Tell scouts what you want, etc. Your thoughts on that from Dick Chimney's Burner?
I mean, listen, being harsh. I think being harsh is fair. It's fine. It's what you have to do. You got to criticize as fans. And the Arian Smith thing, I get it. The consensus was they had him later, so I completely get the criticism. But to go crazy, there's just different levels. So criticism is fine. Be too harsh. I get what you're saying.
Comments, questions, super chats, cut the line. Welt Solution says, Robbie, can you talk about UDFA Quentin Skinner, 6'5", 195? He looks like he could be a steal.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, when I don't know about a player and I haven't seen him too much, I'm not going to throw out garbage and just bullshit everyone. I don't know him too much, to be honest. You guys probably know him as well as I do. So no comment for now. But trust me, I'm going to get into the UDFAs this week.
Yeah, we'll do more of that on the show once we all get a chance to watch.
Yeah.
More film on them and break them down. That's fair. So
if
check
you
back
want,
in.
If you want me to just say nonsense words, I could do it, but I'm not going to do it.
Luppy is the first Asmaniac to gift channel memberships. Great to see Luppy at our draft party last Thursday night. Luppy, this is for you.
It's Jets, Jets. I love Fireman Ed too.
Luppy, thanks for supporting the channel and allowing me to have a job. Never Image Entertainment, Jersey Gene, Liam Boland, NYR Tim, and Justin G, all receiving channel memberships from the Lupman himself. Comments, questions, super chats. What'd you make of the Muji comments when asked point blank about Breece Hall? And he shut it down and said he's on the team. We have not had any trade talks with anyone about Breece.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. Is that to say they haven't thrown out some feelers? It's possible. But it's very unlikely that he goes anywhere, especially now, but even before the draft, because you'd be selling low. You'd be selling way too low. And you need weapons in this offense. It doesn't matter if it's receiver, running back, tight end. You need weapons. And Breece could obviously be a weapon out of the backfield, especially catching the ball. We look at receiver 2 and it's weak. We see that. We all see that. But you kind of have to look at it differently where it's Garrett Wilson, it's Mason Taylor, it's Breece Hall. I mean, those might be the top 3 receiving weapons in this offense this year.
I mean, Breece could be number 2 in targets too, if you think about it.
Easily. Like Fields scampering around and running around. There's a lot of things that they could do together, Fields and Breece, on the move. Not planned, backyard sandlot type stuff. And I think that's where Breece shines most. Breece has struggled with drops, has he not? Like, he dropped the ball a lot last year, yet I feel like he has great hands. He's a great receiver for a running back, but he was just in his own head last year. It was structured with Rodgers, and you got to do this, you got to do that. Maybe he was overthinking things. With Fields, I think if they play looser and they play free and they play backyard sandlot ball at times when things break down, and Fields is going to get that going, there's no question. He's going to get out of the pocket and get that going. I think Breece, that's where he could really shine. Just stop thinking and play.
Yep. Hopefully with the improved O-line and better blocking schemes, let's play to your strengths, Breece. Let's get you to the outside. Yeah. Stretch zone, toss plays. Let's go, man. Hit the edge and let's go.
Just, dude, let's play. Let's play ball. No more thinking. No more. Got to do this. Got to do that. Just play. And I think it's going to serve him well.
Billy says Brees looked slow last season. He didn't look fully healthy at times, and that's a concern with a guy who has been banged up in his career. But that's why I didn't want to trade him, because it's like you'd be selling so low on his value. It's like, let's see what it looks like. New coaching staff. If he has a great year, you still have the franchise tag. It's not like you're going to lose him for nothing. Like, you have the tag available. You're not.
And the
lose
back
him.
money, the back franchise tag is not that much, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Well, it's a little more now because Saquon kind of reset the market a little bit, but it's still under $13, $14 million.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I don't think it made sense. Listen, I would have traded him, but I'd have to get a haul. I'd have to get fair value, and that was very unlikely to happen. So I'm with you, man. And I think Braylon is going to have a major role, but I think Brees is going to have a major role too. And I think there's going to be a lot of guys who have a chance to play. It's going to be a brand new year. Unlike last year where Malachi Corley had a tough time getting on the field. That ain't going to be the way this year. He's going to have a much easier time of things. So
if he can play, what if he just stinks?
I mean, hey, yeah, it's true, but there's going to be a lot.
I didn't draft him. He's playing for a job this summer. He's not definitely on the team.
It was for sure. And I wonder what the meeting room was like when, they were watching last year's Jets on tape and they watched the play where he dropped the ball before crossing the end zone.
Oh, my God. And also notice they kept the receiver coach that was there with Corley last year. They kept Sean Jefferson. So
maybe that helps him. That might help him. It might help him. I don't know. It could go either way.
Or it could hurt him.
It could hurt him.
They already have this perception that, hey, he doesn't work hard, he's immature, whatever the case may be, all the rumblings out there, you know?
Yeah. At least from a technical aspect, having to study and read leverage in real time, he'll have a much better chance to compete and play.
Comments, questions, your super chats. We'll cut the line. Doan Syndrome says, awesome photo album. Jake, for those who missed it, I shared it at the top. If you go to jakeasman.com, you can check the full photo album from our draft party last Thursday. Thank you to photographer Fred Scott for his excellent work.
What's that guy's name? What was that guy's name?
The photographer?
No, the chatter.
Doan Syndrome?
That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. Government name.
Yeah. He's James Bond.
Rick Kent says, hearing former track star gives me Lamb Jones vibes, and that's not good. You're giving him Lamb Jones vibes with your defensive Arian Smith.
Johnny Lamb Jones vibes ain't great, so this commenter must be a bit long in the tooth like me, although, believe it or not, the color of my hair, Johnny Lamb Jones was before my time. Even if you don't believe me, it's true. But it's, I didn't study Lamb Jones's tape, but he didn't have the hips. He wasn't elusive. Arian Smith, I still got to watch more. I'm not going to try to do the hype up thing for fans, but there's something there other than speed. And I get it. He's got to work on the hands, but even if he doesn't catch a single ball all year, him running routes serves a very, very valuable purpose. So I think it's a lower ceiling, much higher floor pick, in my opinion. You just can't look at him as a potential diamond in the rough, like a St. Brown or did St. Brown go in the second round? Where did St. Brown go?
Fourth.
Yeah. So you can't look at him.
They're trying to copy the Lions. They took Penei Sewell. We take Armand Membu. They took Sam Laporta. We take Mason Taylor. We took Arian Smith in the fourth round. They took in their first draft Amon-Ra St. Brown. Like, I get it if it works.
I didn't even think about that. That is true. It's carbon copy. Yeah.
There's your article for JetX. You're welcome. But like, it's like
commission.
And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but Glenn loses me when you try to compare Arian Smith, who has a 7th round grade by people who do this, to Jameson Williams, who, while, yeah, sure, he had some drops, he also was always going to be a guy who was going to go in the first round in the top 15. He was that highly thought of. Yeah,
I agree. I'm with you. Arian Smith, and when I'm, in terms of seeing the title and I'm defending the pick, I'm not, listen, Arian Smith is not going to be St. Brown. He's not going to be a superstar. He's not going to be a stud. That's just what it is. But he can serve a legit purpose, and there's room for improvement. So, he's going to be extremely useful. I hope he stays healthy, because they need that over the top element to open up so much room underneath for Fields and this offense to work.
Comments, questions, super chats. The Bat Fellow writes in, player in the most jeopardy of losing his job has to be Gibson. And Wangu is going to, I don't know how to say his last name, but the guy that played one game and got hurt, but it was awesome in that one game against Seattle.
The kick returner?
Yeah, they brought him back.
Ngakwe.
I hope I have to learn his name because he's so awesome. Is taking his return spot and no room for him as a wide receiver. Good as gone. He's a running back, though. That's the difference. He's listed as a running back.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, Xavier Gibson, I think
he's playing
that's
for
fair.
a spot, though, 100%.
Yeah, agreed. I think that's completely fair. I mean, you got Tyler Johnson. Let's break it down. You got Garrett, Tyler Johnson, Lazard, Arian Smith. Who am I missing? Corley and Gibson. That's 6, right? So, yeah, we'll see who else they bring. They still have Brandon Smith on the roster. Irv Charles, right? Irv is still there, I think. Pokey Wilson. Everyone knows Pokey. So yeah, Reynolds too. I forgot about Josh Reynolds.
Reynolds,
yeah, absolutely. He's playing for that. See, it's interesting. Reynolds they have specific receivers that each do something very, very well. They're Reynolds
clearly higher on Reynolds than the general public is, because 2 years ago, Engstrand had him. He caught like 60 passes and was part of that NFC title game.
Yeah. But like the specific roles, Josh Reynolds blocks, and that's his thing. He's a blocker. Arian Smith, clear the defense. Whether he gets involved in the jet motion is the other thing. Can he handle that at the NFL level? I don't know yet. Maybe he's fluid enough. I think so. He's not afraid of contact. That's for sure. His one cut ability is solid. Vision is solid. We'll see. But Josh Reynolds, blocker. Arian Smith, speed. There's a lot of different, and Lazard, I'd put him in the blocker category too. There's a lot of different. I don't know what Tyler Johnson. He's more well-rounded. He's probably the top chance to be receiver 2, or Reynolds, probably Reynolds right now.
Just a heads up from Beastbreaker, his arch nemesis, Bobby Beasley, is apparently lurking.
Who's Bobby Beasley?
I don't know. He's Beast arch nemesis. He knows him from the wrestling days. And apparently he's a fake boy and fake Jet fan. So everyone be on high alert for Bobby Beasley.
Beast, you got to explain who Bobby Beasley is here.
He's an arch nemesis. That's all we know.
Arch nemesis. It's funny. Beast is any human who has an arch nemesis or villain thinks they're in a comic book. It's like, what are you, a superhero, Beast? Answer for yourself.
Let's see. Jay wants to know who will have more drops, Arian Smith or Alan Lazard.
I don't know. It's a good question. Alan Lazard, because he's gonna. Well, they're gonna be rotating. They're gonna at receiver. They will be rotating like hell. And if I had to guess right now, Reynolds would be the receiver 2 to start in base. Want him out there when you're running the ball as much as possible. And when you get to, third and long situations, Arian Smith, that's his role. And third and long, or, jet motion package on any down. If they deem him good enough to run the jet motion. Who is the jet motion guy? If not for Arian Smith, Xavier Gibson, that's it. They have no one else. So, yeah, it's interesting. I gotta think on this.
Alan says, justifying taking a wide receiver who can't catch in a sport where there were more talented pass catchers on the board is hilarious. Hope Smith masters the art of stickum.
Yeah. Hey, man. Hey, these gloves are already alien technology. So if you can't catch with these gloves, we're in trouble. But he doesn't have to catch. Just send him along.
Comments, questions, super chats. Dones writes in, James Bond is nothing on me. Love the show, Jake. Robbie Sable, do you think we'll sign a free agent wide receiver? And who would you take?
The great Connor Long just put out an article at JetX with a transition. And he did list Keenan Allen on there. I don't think it's going to happen. But if I were to sign a free agent, I guess it would be Keenan. Get that veteran leadership in there and let him work alongside Garrett.
Amari Cooper would be another option too.
Amari too. Yeah, he's a good consideration.
How about Connor Long, one of the big stars at the draft party on Thursday?
Yeah. So was he behaved himself, right?
Oh yeah. I only caught him drinking like 3 juice boxes, so he was good to drive.
Oh, Connor's listening right now. He better not be. It's Tuesday.
Yeah. There might have been a little extra grape juice, but he was good, man. He was as sober as one could be, eating Lunchables and juice boxes.
Yeah. We pay him in Capri Sun.
I love that. Full photo album is on jakeasman.com for those who want to see all the pictures from the event last Thursday. I believe in freedom says grays don't mean bleep. As an ex-pro baseball player, I'm telling you, never now too many factors involved. It's not playing crap game.
It's about situations. It's about situations and coaching. And, that's why I love the Arian Smith pick, because he's not going to be overwhelmed. He's not going to be confused. He's going to have a specific role in the offense, and there will be no confusion about it. He knows exactly what he's going to do, and he's going to work on it. Everyone's saying he can't catch. Yeah, he had some drops, but why are we acting like he can't improve in that area? It's possible. Like, it could be. And what if he's only targeted deep over the shoulder with touch? There's a lot of scenarios that could work out, and based on his role, chances are he's going to be targeted a lot more over the top when he's wide open down the field, as opposed to digs and slants and all that other stuff. He's not going to be on the field for those plays. He's going to be on the field for his specific role.
Oregon says the Thomas pick is the prerequisite for trading Sauce. I don't agree with that at all.
Oh, no. You don't need. So Sauce is. I'm not against trading anyone like Garrett Wilson. I would have poked around, but no, you're not trading either guy, Garrett or Sauce. Sauce, he's just. It's so rare to find a guy who's that tall, lanky, and could move so quickly in short spaces. And what he does with his hands at the line of scrimmage, you're not trading that guy. That is a special talent. If the Jets wanted to trade him, there'd be teams lined up all over the map to try to get him.
Jay says Robbie knows coaching. Port Jervis High School, New York State champs.
Is that the same guy who keeps on commenting everything? You damn right, Jay.
Let's see. B says, as maniacs, get behind me. We will destroy this Bobby Beasley and send him packing back to Wisconsin. His time on the Jake Asman show is up, and it's game over for him. Beast, no one knows who Bobby Beasley is. We haven't seen one comment from him. That the person who changed his name to Bobby Beasley was trolling you, as usual.
Dude, Beast is he fancies himself a superhero. He really does.
He does.
It's interesting. Going to the mind, into the mind of Beast would be a hell of a thing.
You don't want to go in there.
What's the lobby like? What's the receptionist like in the mind of Beast trying to get in? You wonder.
It is quite the scene. Let me tell you. Let's see. Rick Kent responded to your comment, Robbie. He goes, I'm long in the tooth, so I move slowly.
Hey, that's the natural order of things, my friend.
This one is from Duhan, who says, why is Clemens still on the roster?
Hey, the Jets fan. What if Clemens is a big piece of Glenn's offense or defense this year? Will the Jets fans who love Glenn right now say okay and nod their head and be like, okay,
no,
let's give him a shot, or will they turn on him right away? What do you think?
Gone, done, turned on him.
Yeah, listen, I think Clemens, he's under contract. He, as much as he draws the ire of all the Jets fans, I think he's fine as a second teamer. He's that tweener where he's too big for edge. He's too small for the inside. So if he's your 7th or 8th D lineman, that's fine. I'd roll with that. That's fine. But, you don't want him on the field starting. No question about it.
Clemens would just be, depressing to watch out there. I'm hoping that's what that kid from Miami, Barron, could do. Yeah, could take the Clemens role on the team.
Barron's a bigger type edge, but he's still not even, I don't even think he's close to Clement. How much does Barron weigh? Like 260? Let's see.
Add some weight. I don't know. Let him spend some time with Beastbreaker in the attic.
Going to the mind of Beast. Yeah, Clemens is like 280 or 270 something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But it doesn't seem like they have enough bodies to cut him, does it?
Well, this is what happens when you don't draft the defensive tackle.
Yeah, there you go.
Let's see. Jimbo says, "Good morning, Asmaniacs. We still talking about my dog, Arian Smith. I just sent him a message to put the jugs machine beside. LFG Knicks later. Bing bong. Go Knicks, Jimbo. I don't think messaging Arian Smith put the jugs machine next to you is going to help him, but I like the idea.
How did whoever made that damn thing? How did they come up with the name Jugs for that? Is it like a subliminal message to get the receivers to practice more on the jugs? But like, how did that come about?
Let's throw that in ChatGPT. Why now? Right now. Why is it called the jugs machine?
I never thought about that. Even as a coach, it never crossed my mind.
Let's see. It's called a jugs machine because of the company that first invented it and popularized it, Jug Sports. In 1970, two brothers, John Paulson and Tom Paulson, invented the first mechanized football passing machine to help players practice catching with realistic speed and spin. They named their company Jugs after an old baseball term. In baseball slang, a jug-handled curve was a pitch with crazy looping curve.
I've never heard that.
Jug. I've never heard that either. When they started with baseball pitching machines, the name stuck, and when they expanded to football machines, the Jugs branding was already established. So, in short, it's called Jugs Machine because of the brand name, not because of anything specific to football itself or women's breasts.
Is that what it says?
I the last line might have been improv by me.
Okay, all right. Hey, it does the damn job. I'll tell you that. It took off, and I'm not surprised.
Shout out to Jimbo for getting us on the Jugs Machine. Roseanne says Jugs Machine would be a crazy stripper name.
Yeah.
Hey now.
Calm your freaky down.
Jugs McGee. Yeah, it's not bad.
Oh man. Please hit the like button if you're just tuning in. King Lowski says the machine looks like a pair of boobs. Lowski, don't make me play this to you.
Calm your freaky down.
What was that for? The Kami Freaky Down? Was that to Bobby Midnight?
The original video was for Bobby Midnight.
It was for Bobby Midnight.
Yeah,
Where's he been?
freaky.
I haven't seen him in a while.
He did call into one of the shows yesterday.
Bobby, what are you up to? I know you're watching.
We think he's watching. We don't know for sure.
Is he protesting?
No, I don't think he's protesting currently. He did get 5 memberships yesterday. I know Nick Shine was furious.
Why?
Well, because Bobby's whole reason why he couldn't come to the draft party was he couldn't afford the trip down and the hotel or whatever. So then he spent money on this channel, and Nick was outraged, which is a fair criticism.
Because everyone wanted Bobby there. I get it.
Yep.
Did Gorman go?
Gorman did go.
Nice.
Not only did Gorman go, Robbie, but he was one of the biggest stars of the night, I'd say.
Yeah. Did he get over the tough loss in Asmaniac Madness or what?
Yeah, he was more concerned about the catfishing incident, but he was in great spirits. And here's a photo of Charles and I with big fella photobombing us in the background.
Yeah, big fella. You're not subtle, buddy. I see you. Is that Vilma jersey?
He wore the Jonathan Vilma jersey. Yep.
Nice.
Which I think Big Fella actually gave him, which was very nice of him.
Nice.
DJ Dirty Cooch says Jugs Machine was a second nickname for Beast as well.
Oh, there's your arch nemesis. I don't know about
is
this.
Is DJ Dirty Cooch actually Bobby Beasley?
Yeah, I don't know about this fictional Bobby Beasley character, but the Cooch is Beastbreaker's nemesis, I would say.
That's the question we don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
Some of these comments I cannot read on a family show, people.
Oh, really? I got to look at these.
Some of them. Tom A says, that was my jersey originally, then went to the big fella, then how about that? The Jonathan Vilma jersey that Gorman was wearing at the party has been passed down through now 3 Asmaniacs. It started with Tom Ace, then to the big fella, and now to Charles Eugene M. Gorman.
Man, you guys are passing stuff around. This is, this is a whole family, huh?
Beast is saying that it's not true that his nickname is not Jugs Machine, by the way, Robbie, just so you know. False lie, a false rumor.
That's what a superhero would say.
Do you think that'd be a superhero name?
What would Beastbreaker's superhero name be?
Well, I'm saying, do you think that's his superhero name, Jugs Machine?
Nah, I just think he doesn't he doesn't like to dish out any information as much as possible because he's he's fighting crime at night, I'm sure.
I see. In the meantime, we'll get to some of your calls right now. Reminder, if you gift the membership, you're entered to win our full-size Broadway Joe helmet, our Justin Fields signed helmet, and our Joe Klecko signed helmet. Go big or go home this week. That's the motto for the raffle. All right, to the calls we go. Gusbuster Umbrella Hotline. First up today is...
Just yesterday, Jake, I promised that I wouldn't talk about this 4th-round pick at all anymore.
Uh-oh.
And then you went and you based the whole show basically around this single pick.
Just for you.
You son of a bitch. So it's too funny.
How are you feeling about it, Kyle?
I didn't love it.
Did my wise words help ease it at all, or no? You could be honest.
No, well, here's what I think. I do think they have a plan for him, but I think it comes down to where you take him, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be comfortable with losing players you like if you don't see that the league is valuing him in your draft slot, right? Because you might be passing up on an opportunity to improve the team somewhere else. I don't know about you guys, but I see the draft as an opportunity to take down value. And
That's the fairest thing I've heard, and I agree with you 100%. But the only problem is what we know with the draft board is not what they know. So, the fact that his speed is off the charts and those metrics are there, he could have easily gone like a couple picks right after that. That's the only thing.
I mean, I think you have to take that risk, though. To me, if we had gotten past 135, which I think was where or 145 is where we were picking, and he was still on the board, and you wanted to come up from 162, and you saw that there were teams there that were in the receiver market that you wanted to jump in front of, I probably would have been okay with a 6th and 7th round swap next year, or a swap even this year to go get your guy.
So then if you chance, completely fair. But then if you chance it, you're cool.
You could lose a guy.
Well, do you have a backup plan for the speed element on offense and what you're trying to do? Because you know what this offense is going to be. It's going to be very restrictive.
Well, I don't.
Are you cool with going in without that element at all, or no?
Well, apparently, Muji and Glenn aren't. That's the key part, right?
And that's kind of what I'm looking. It's more offensive specific in terms of you gotta back up the DBs. You gotta back them up, especially on passing downs, to give Fields room, to give Garrett room, to give the tight ends room, and jet motion.
Right. So
you have to have jet motion in this offense. Is it going to be? It's going to be Xavier Gibson. If not, they have nobody else.
Maybe that speaks to the urgency, but I feel like this guy may have been there at 162. And I understand when it comes to the draft, it's traits, right? Traits and development. And I also understand a point that Jake often makes is like, you don't want to strictly go by your board and take down value. That's what led to McCagnon taking the 2 safeties early in that 1 year. You have to kind of marry your most pressing needs to the value that's out there on the board throughout, right?
Yes, and I think at that point in the draft, that's the most important thing to remember. If you love a guy, go get a guy. Don't worry about playing chess perfectly, because it never works out in the end.
Right. So as a result, I love the AZ pick. I think that's tremendous value. I saw him, like, some people had him as a 1st-round pick. Most people have him as a 2nd-round pick. I think that the Athletic had him as the 51st overall player. If you look at Taylor, I think that the opinions vary. The Athletic, I think, had him as the 33rd overall player. There was a lot of rumors that there were teams like the Eagles that were going to take him at the end of the first round. I was fine with the first 2 days. It's just a matter of, to me, when you have that many needs, keep your picks, stick and pick, or add more picks and just try and take down value for guys within your system. And I feel like they could have done that with Francisco, the linebacker, and with Arian Smith a little bit. So,
yeah, that's fair.
All right, guys, I appreciate the time.
Kyle,
You got
appreciate you and love the quarter zip. Appreciate you repping. Let's see. Did I miss a super chat here? I think we did not. Love that. All right. More of your calls right now. Eric is next on our show today. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Jake. I almost feel the opposite of Kyle. Like, I still think the pick is a reach and everything, and I would have liked the DT in the class. But if they really think he's going to contribute to the team and help win, then take him where he is. You don't have to be like Joe Douglas and always moving around the draft, or you take a surefire thing like Mims or Elijah Moore in the second round. Like, we don't really know what these guys are going to be, especially in the fourth round. If you think that the pick has some potential, that there's a trait that has enough upside and you think someone else might take him, just take him where he is,
It's fair. I think that's basically what they thought, that we don't want to miss out because we need speed. I think to Robbie's point, they had very specific things they drafted these players to do, whereas felt like Douglas was just taking talent, not building a team. So we'll find out that works.
Like Denzel Mims, it's second round, obviously, but Denzel Mims, if he's not a receiver one, he's a bust. If we're looking at Arian Smith as if he's not a receiver one, he's a bust, we already failed. It's much different. He fills a specific need, and the other thing is, man, whoever the scout is for the Jets in the Southeast, they went hard and heavy. SEC, ACC,
all
Southeast,
big schools too. They didn't
competition.
Take any small school guys.
Yes, he went all competition, and I can't hate it.
And for their character too, and what you think they could contribute. Like you said, he's not in there to be a number one receiver. He's there to back up the defensive backs, and that's all you need him to do, really. And if he's doing that, then it's making Fields' life easier. It's making the run game easier. It's worth the fourth. We're not in the scouting room. Everybody has these big boards that it's like up and down, up and down. We know who the best players is. We don't really know anything at the end of the day.
Well, if true, and if Rodgers was still the quarterback and they're running that offense, I would hate this pick. Hate it. Absolutely hate it. Hate it up and down the board. But that's really the biggest thing for me. It's not the Rodgers offense. It's not that all. It's a completely different thing. And I see the connection here.
Yeah, I don't think it was the best pick in the world. I don't really think he's going to turn out, but I'm not in the scouting room, so I'm going to give them a little.
When you say turn out, what do you mean? Like, what's your definition of
him? I think
to the offense.
Contributing to the offense, making the offense look a little better.
That's you don't think he's going to contribute at all this year?
I think it'll be very moderate. I think it's kind of like he's not going to be catching a lot of balls. He's more out there as a distraction, which I guess
be that's a major. If you have a guy who's a burner who could run deep and draw the safety back and draw the corners back and get everything to put, that's a major deal. Even if he doesn't catch the ball, that's a huge. And then jet motion. Are they going to run any jet motion at all in this offense with Fields? And if it's not him, who is it going to be? Gibson again?
Yeah, well, that's why I said I don't mind the pick, because do I think 100% it's going to turn out? But it's worth it for the chance that it backs up the defenders. You can use them I don't know what Corley's going to do, but when you're talking fourth round, I know it's not a dart throw. The fourth round, you can find contributing. Yeah, you can find contributing factors in the fourth round, but you're banking on the upside that he's going to contribute in a way that is more than just catching the ball, being a solid number two receiver. Is that a little high for what you're hoping? But if that's what you think he's going to do, take him. I don't care that you took him higher than his value.
Yeah, well, listen, it's if you took a player like him, questionable hands, but he was projected to be in the third, and you took him in the second, I would hate it. Hate it. If you're taking a receiver in the second, you need him to have a ceiling that's much, much higher. But where he went, It's okay with like I'm not going to go crazy.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Like you said, like if you're taking someone in the second year, you want him to be a solid number 2 receiver. You want him to be catching the ball for you. This
Or
in
number
the fourth,
one.
you don't need that.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's hey, Gruden loves him. You know that.
I kind of trust Gruden with some of that stuff.
Yeah, some stuff. You know Gruden though. He overhypes everyone. Like, oh, this guy's great. This guy's great. So,
He
Anybody who
drafted
visits
Henry Ruggs.
well, I mean, he had talent though.
He
Yeah,
did.
but
He had talent.
There were
Let's
other
say
guys that he drafted too with the Raiders that were
Yeah.
huge misses.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Him and Mayock. That was a strange pairing as the TV pairing for a while there with Vegas or Oakland actually.
Lynn Bowden, Brian Edwards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wasn't great.
anybody who visits him these days, he seems to be pretty high on. So it's not worth a lot of value. But yeah, that's all I got. I just I'm okay with the pick overall.
Eric, appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Have you recovered from your shot with me and Fireman Head?
Oh yeah, yeah.
What
I
kind
had
of shot was
work
it?
the next bit. We did Jameson. I think I asked Jake what he drinks.
My boys. Those are my boys right there. Jake's you're a Jameson dude?
I was that night because that's just what
I like
whiskey.
were feeding me.
My buddy loves Jameson so much, he named his kid Jameson.
Really?
Yes, true
I
story.
have a friend whose dog named Jameson. I like Jameson Black Barrel a lot, but yeah.
Remember Jamison Crowder was a Jet?
Yeah. Jameson with an I though. Yeah,
What a
it's a little
run.
different. Yeah.
Anyway,
All right, I'm gonna
Eric,
get back to work. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for taking my call.
All right.
you got it, Eric. Appreciate you. Beast is going nuts in the chat again. Let's see.
His secret identity is
There's a
being,
Robert Beasley username here that says Scalebreaker666 is a thorn in my ass. And Beast says red alert, red alert. Beast, you should change your actual YouTube name to Beastbreaker, not Stormrocks. No one knows what that is.
these imaginary commenters. Beast might need psychotherapy.
And then Robert Beasley says fraud alert. So now Robert Beasley is going back and forth with Bobby Beasley. Or Robert Beasley's going back and forth with Beastbreaker.
Someone's playing head games with Beast.
Yep. Beastbreaker just wrote, expose yourself, Bobby Beasley. Should we check in with Beast to find out what's going on?
Yeah, dude. He's the cream of the crop, like Macho Man. So let's do it.
To the lair we go.
Right now, we're getting some gabagool. If you really want some gabagool, you gotta come get the gabagool. Catch you later.
You see this, Bobby Beasley? You see this? This is gonna be your ass if you don't cut the shit with me. Enough's enough with you. This is a family show. Family. F-A-M-L-I-Y. Family. This is gonna be your ass if you don't cut it out. And you know what I mean by this? Something that your old man should have gave you years ago. See this? This is gonna be your ass. And I'm not playing with you this time, Beasley. Get the hell off of this show and get your ass out of here, or me and Big Fella, we're gonna crush you into 1,000 pieces until you're dead. Now get the step in and take a walk. Este vato, or I'm gonna call 187 on you, sucker. Now let's go to another caller and let's get this show back to family form. Thank you very much, Jake. Like I said, let's go back to family show, please. This is a family show. Now I'm not going to lose my temper over it. But let's go to family business. Go to the next caller, please. Next caller, please go. 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 Thank you. Hold on. We got a phone call.
Ah, where'd he go?
Dude, he just turned into Mr. T for a second. Sucker.
I think he spelled family wrong, but I'm not 100% certain.
Yeah, the belt had me distracted.
Someone review the tape. How did Beast spell family there? Best part is him talking about it being a family show as he's threatening to whip some guy named Bobby Beasley, who none of us have any idea who he is.
Yeah, it's a family show. Here's my BDSM belt. Let's go.
D's Nuts says, Beast, you can't spell moron. Roseanne says, Beast didn't do his karate. Shake my head. Duhan says, yeah, after belting, let's turn it back to a family show. Yeah, it's gonna be tough to do.
Man, what do you
Beast
think,
is
guys?
back with us right now. Beast, what's happening?
I'm gonna calm down right now, and I'm gonna take my time, and I'm gonna spray a little.
Was that fart spray?
Get rid of the fear. Let me call you back.
Where you going?
Nowhere. I'm just spraying around here, just getting rid of the bad.
What are you spraying?
This is antibacterial hand spray. This is candy apple. I got this for Christmas. This was a
Is
good
it the
Christmas
generic
present.
kind or brand?
No, this is antibacterial, 100%. It gets rid of fear. I don't want to yell and scream today. This is a family show, and I'm trying to keep it nice. But this man is a menace to society.
Who is Robert Beasley?
You need to come out and expose yourself. Or
Who is he,
I got
Beast?
something.
We don't know who he
waiting
is.
for you. You know what this means, Bobby Beasley? You see this? You see this belt? I'm going to give you something your old man never gave you in your life, boy.
He's got the strap.
Beast, it's a family show. What are you doing?
Yeah, I know, but this boy needs his ass whipped like I'm his
Beast,
daddy.
calm down.
Whip
Beast,
him if
I
he
need you to
doesn't
calm
cut it out.
down. Calm down, son. Calm down. Listen to me. Who is Beast? Who is Robert Beasley? We don't know who he is.
It's Bobby Beasley. He's trying to disguise himself as that. I know all his tricks. See, he's trying to make multiple YouTube accounts because this man is nothing more than a fake, fraudulent lion sack of dog shit. I'll even tell Batfellow himself, too, that this man is a joke. He's a lion sack of shit. And excuse my language, but I'm telling the truth like it is, because this man is a disgrace.
Who is he? What has he done to you? We don't understand why you don't like Bobby Beasley.
Caused me to have panic attacks. He's caused me to have multiple pain in my stomach. He's caused multiple damage on multiple pages of wrestling on my Facebook. He's caused more damage in my life. And he also, when I had my other guinea pig last year, he caused multiple rounds of damage. This man is trouble.
Have you ever met him in person?
No. What?
Have you ever met him in person?
Online, yes, because this man is a sicko. He is reptilian garbage.
But you've never met him in person. Just ignore him.
No, I don't want to meet him in person because he knows I'm going to kick his ass all over the place. And when I do,
just block him.
It's going to signify his death and his destruction and also his last rites. Because this is not a game anymore. Now you're playing with fire. You step into my world, I'm going to take you to the 8 circles of hell. And when you do, don't be running from me, kid, because I'm going to beat your ass like I'm your father. And when I do, expect the unexpected because you are weak, like B-Mac and the rest of the thugs. Don't test my patience and don't test my fire because I will beat your ass from pillar to post.
Beast, we don't know who this guy is. You've never even met him. You don't even know him. Just ignore him.
My friend Dustin knows all his tricks. He's watched all his dirty work. I gave Gator all those audio files on him, and I got every bit of proof.
Gator doesn't know who he is either. I was talking with Gator. We don't know who this guy
is.
He's
a dead man.
This man Why don't you just block him? You've never met him. You only know him from the internet.
I don't want
just
nothing to do with the jerk off. He's got it coming for me. See, like Judas Priest once said, he's got another thing coming, and when he gets it, this is going to be his last final right.
I see. That makes no sense. Robbie, what are your thoughts on Bobby Beasley?
Beast, Bobby Beasley, quite frankly, it sounds made up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no. This man is trouble from miles away. He's a joker and a lying disgrace sack of crap. That's why he's not a Jet fan. He's not like us. He's no Asmaniac. He is a Green Bay Packers spy and a wannabe. That's why he'll
a Green Bay
never
Packers spy.
And you know what he is too? In the words of CM Punk, as he once said, he has a vagina. He has a vagina. I'm not answering. Fake call. Bye-bye.
What if it's Bobby Beasley?
Yeah.
No, that's not Bobby Beasley.
What if he's calling to apologize?
What?
Robert Beasley says, I'm going to lock your ass up, scale breaker.
Keep dreaming, kiddo. The only thing you're going to lock up is your one-way ticket to the slammer because my daughter has lawyers and I got lawyers. So don't think
you have lawyers.
See, I got friends on this page. I've made new friends. Mr. Beasley, you're nothing but trash, 100%. You have no balls, no brains, no integrity, no heart. You're as cheap as Scott's toilet paper.
Oh, is that who it is? Robert Beasley in the comments?
Yeah, Robert Beasley.
Oh,
yeah.
Jack for this channel. You never put a dime in for this channel. I did. I flew. I fight. I bleed. I kick more ass than you do. You're nothing but a loser with little yellow stains in your underwear. And I'm talking the whitey.
Is it true? Is it true that you have lawyers on retainer of the Dream Team?
I got real lawyers. My daughter already got me some lawyers. They don't think I'm not ready for fights. It's called you don't want to get in a dog fight with me.
Hey, Beast, how about this for an idea? You just block the guy.
I've been battling some big-time losers.
What if you just block him on social media? Then you won't see his comments. I've
already have blocked him. It's just.
I don't think you have. I don't think you have.
No, I have. I got all the.
You can't cut promos.
No, you can't. You could just block him, and then the problem is solved.
You know what? Let him talk his trash because you know what? He can kiss my right ear. Kiss my ass.
Beast, this is a family show. You got to take it easy.
Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But this man has public enemy #1 written all over it, and this man has to go to hell. I'll take him with me, and I'll send him there, and I'll throw him right into the pits of hell and make him burn. And
You're not going to do anything to him. You don't even know him. You never met him. You never even met him in person.
I know him very well. My friend Dustin from Wisconsin has all his audio files.
Have you ever met Dustin in person?
Yes, I have, through AAW Wrestling 2010. I used to work for AAW Wrestling.
So you haven't met Dustin in 15 years.
See, when I first broke into wrestling, let me run it down for you. When I was doing AAW wrestling, Bobby Beasley was eating a toilet seat for 5 people at a wrestling show somewhere out in Muskogee somewhere. Because the man has no balls. I was making my name national because why? I did radio in Columbia College, and where did I find AAW wrestling? At one of the Comic-Cons I went to in 2010. I met Mick Foley. I met Shane Douglas and Raven. I also met Rhino and also Kevin Nash. What did this little joker do? Oh, he meant one word. Nobody.
So you're saying Bobby Beasley? Bobby Beasley's the babyface in the situation?
No, he's not no babyface. He's a scumbag. He's scum. Spelled SCUMBAG. Scumbag. And Bad Fellow will tell you if he knows he's a scumbag. For life.
Robert Beasley says you're the one doing all the talking, and now you're threatening.
Oh yeah, no, why are you threatening Beasley? Him? I got you scouted out very easily because why? I got files on you. I got everything on you, and you think you're gonna sweet talk your way out of this one? Not a chance, kid. You're screwed from all angles. I will break you, and I will put you in submission and make you cry right to Mama's house back to Wisconsin. So take your Green Bay Packer yellow ass, go put your yellow panties on and march the line like everybody else.
And Seabull writes in, you should get out and walk to bring up your heart rate, not screaming from the basement at fictional characters.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go relax right now, have a cup of water. Okay. You and Robbie have your fun here, and I'm going to enjoy my peace. But if this man starts his shit, I'm going, and sorry for my language, I'm going to ignore the piss out of him because he is one word, loser. Spelled L-O-S-E-R, loser.
Beast Breaker 666, he's the man who would kick your ass, and then he'd gobble-goo.
Your thoughts on what you just witnessed there, Robbie?
Any chance that dude could cut a promo, he's gonna do it. Robert Beasley, I'm in fear for my life. That belt got me, man. That belt, the way he was, you could pull someone out of the Grand Canyon. That thing.
Poor little Joey. I mean, I feel bad for what that environment must be like.
Who's poor little Joey?
Little Joey is Beast's guinea pig, his pet.
Yeah,
there's been a lot of songs that have been written about Beast and his guinea pig.
Hey, at least Beast got the strap. He got the strap right now. He's champ. Beasley, it's your move, buddy. I'll be watching.
Love it. Robbie, another excellent show. Appreciate you hopping on as always.
You got it. Later, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robbie Sabo, JetsXFactor.com. Promo code Asman for a discount on your JetX membership. Michael Duramo writes in, Robert Beasley versus Beastbreaker in the first round of Asmaniac Madness 2026 to settle it all. Well, Bobby Beasley would have to call in. We still don't know who he is. Beast has never met him. He's just an internet troll, it sounds like. Beast is taking it too personal. That's my read on the situation. You know? Open phone lines if you want to call in. 2 raffle entries, by the way, for you, Michael. Appreciate all of you. Thanks again to Robbie for coming on the show. Reminder, if you get the membership, you're entered for a chance to win a signed full-size Joe Namath throwback helmet and a Justin Fields helmet. And I just added it yesterday and sharing it now, autographed Joe Klecko helmet. So we got 3 awesome prizes in the Asmaniac raffle this week. Load up your calls if you haven't done so already. Let's say hello to a man. He dropped off the line. Never mind. Jet Nation says, Jake, who would you most likely say won't work out? Membu, Taylor, Thomas, or more? Probably more because he's a 4th-round pick. I'm just betting on the odds. Percentage will tell me the guy in the first is a higher percent chance than the second, third, or fourth. In that order. Ask me anything, Jet-related, NFL-related. Throw it in the comments right now because we are light on calls. So I want to stay on a little while longer. I don't need to go the full 2 hours, but I definitely could do another 15 minutes if no one else calls in. Just throw any football-related questions at me, and I'll address it. Jimbo wants to know if the $10 Super Chat counted for 2 entries. They did, Jimbo. $10 Super Chats moving forward will count for the raffle. King Lowski responding to Beast says, well, we see who didn't get past the first round of the spelling bee. That is true. Billy M says, what's up, Jake? Miss you guys. Billy, miss you too, man. Hope all is well. Adam says, late to the show. Moore will be a top 10 safety. Appreciate that. I hope he will be. Anthony says, do I think Judge will hit 400? No. I don't. I'd love it to. I don't think anyone's going to do that again. What he's doing, though, is incredible because hitting has never been more difficult than it is today. Brady Strong's very big on Moore. I like him, too. I thought there was good value there. I like his background, his pedigree. DJ Dirty Cooch, you don't think anyone drafted at defensive tackle wouldn't have been 4th on the... No, I think they would have been eventually playing, starting. Ralphie says, do you think Muji saying he's on the team about Priest good or bad? I think it's good. I think it's like, these rumors are out there. It's not true. We're not trading him. I haven't spoken with any teams. I don't think they're trading Brees Hall. I think if they were to trade Brees Hall, you would have done it already. Right? You don't do it after the draft. If the Jets stink at the trade deadline, could Brees be moved then? Sure. But I'm not operating under that thought right now. I think Brees is on this team. Adam is called in. He's up next on our show. What's up, Adam?
Hey, I think there were some issues with StreamYard logging in through YouTube, so that might be a reason why there might not be a lot of people on hold, but I just broke through, so.
Hold on. I now made it easier for those of you trying to call in. I took off the guest must authenticate for the time being because I was on Bobby Beasley watch, according to Beasley.
Yep, that was the situation. Okay, cool. So following up from some things that I was thinking about yesterday, with these like draft grades that everyone's handing out, like we don't know what everyone's curve is. Like some folks are too afraid to even give out an F. I think some of the draft grades that were given out were like C was the lowest. Like nobody got an F. And maybe, there are situations where maybe everybody gets what they want, but it's usually not the case. So just got to recognize everyone's got their own curve on that. The second point I wanted to make was like all these players that got drafted, like they totally deserve our, congratulations. It's an incredible achievement even to get drafted. And these are like incredible athletes. And I'm really glad that, we got to pick them. This is part of, an incredible milestone in their lives. So hopefully they'll all work out for us, right? Even if we have our doubts about fit or doubts about skill sets and whatnot, like it's an incredible achievement. So like props to everybody and congrats to all of them. We hope that they'll all be like really successful here in their careers.
Adam, you got to be one of the nicer people that calls this show. I love it.
Well, I'm feeling bad because like, here's the thing. I don't think most people were like ripping on the player. They were just ripping on the placement. Like
if he was picked in the 6th round, no one would bat an eye. Be like, oh, they're betting on his traits. He's really fast.
Yeah, and by the way, you were mentioning like if any other team picked him at the fourth round, what would we think? I was thinking about this. There's literally one team that could have picked him in the fourth and justified it, and we'd be like, oh, that's so typical, Miami, because they always look for speed guys. So if he got drafted by Miami, I don't think people would have had the same reaction. But like any other team, it would be like, hmm. But like if anyone knows how to operate with people with speed, it's Miami, right? They had like the top 3 fastest people on the field at one point, other than Brees. So I just thought in the end, maybe Miami would have been. Maybe they thought Miami was going to get him. I mean, who the heck knows? But at any rate, I hope he's successful. I hope he catches a bomb, like first catch, so that everyone really respects him. Because
At
I
our
think
preseason draft party, when he catches a bomb from Jordan Travis, we're all gonna go nuts. It's gonna be great.
Honestly, like Brady Cook to Arian Smith would be an incredible achievement too, because there are like all sorts of concerns around Brady Cook's accuracy, even though he's got the arm. Then you've got the guy with the speed that has some challenges with catches. So hey, let's see if they can throw a rainbow, like a 90-yard rainbow for no reason, and see what happens. Who the heck knows? So I'm looking forward to that. Other than that, it's all speculation. We'll have to see how it all plays out. But there are like multiple opportunities to retool, right? There's the pre-draft free agents, and there's the drafting, and then there's the post-draft free agents. So we're entering Act 3 of this roster composition. There's a 4th round, which is like the scrap heap from folks that don't make the roster. But if we're already like relying on that round to fill it out, then there is issues. So we'll have to see what the long-term plan is. But we're definitely at halftime with free agency and with the draft. So whatever holes we've got, I hope there's a plan for it. And maybe we are just so used to the solid defense that didn't blitz all the time that we forgot what it's like when they're just blitzing all the time. And you don't have to worry about the middle because like you're rushing 5 or 6 on every play instead of just a couple. So we'll have to see what happens. I just wanted to kind of wrap those thoughts up from yesterday.
Adam, great call as always. Appreciate you, man. Fair points indeed. Adam says Malachi Moore, safety 3 in this draft, and he was close to Imaginori. Doesn't have elite speed or size, but he's the smartest safety in the draft. Fantastic value. I like that pick a lot, Adam. I'm not going to go as far as say he's definitely safety 3 in this class, but I do think he's got a chance to start because the Jets don't have great safeties. And clearly Glenn loves him. Like that was his player compared to the Brian Branch. Like they're trying to be the Lions, for better or worse. They are trying to be the Lions. All right. Open phone lines for those who want in. We got a couple of you on hold. So we will get to more of your calls, I promise, coming right up. But right now, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and we're back with more. It's the Jake Asman Show, baby, right here on YouTube.
Do you guys remember there was an incident in Las Vegas where a man attacked a Clark County judge? After this happened, I said, the guy in the video is actually a listener of the show. So not the guy who basically like Troy Polamalu'd over like the judge dais, but the guy that is a listener of the show is the hero who tried to immediately apprehend this wacko. And yesterday, Michael Lasso, the law clerk who helped protect the Clark County judge who was attacked in court last month, was named Citizen of the Month in Vegas. You could see our guy Michael Lasso on the left there. It's a pretty cool moment for Michael, who joins us right now. What's up, Michael?
How you doing, Jake? Good to see you.
Man, what's it like being a hero?
Oh my God, you know what I mean? It's so honestly, it's just so surreal and so humbling. Truly, I never expected it to be, on SNL and TikTok and Twitter. And
while I fly this way, right? Mm-hmm. The bailiff, he run behind me, he fall down. Look at it, man. That's terrible, man.
It's really just incredible, to be honest. And that leap that man did was pretty impressive. And I think that's part of the reason why that video has gone so crazy.
I mean, the guy, like, he timed the snap perfectly, right? Like, he did the full Troy Polamalu over the. I mean, what goes through your mind in real time as that's happening? Like, you even have time to think? Was it all just natural reaction? Kind of take us through what's happening there.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, there's no time to think for sure. I mean, the video doesn't even do it justice, just that how fast that actually occurred. I mean, 1 minute he's sitting there just talking about how, he'll accept whatever the judge is willing to give him. And then the next minute he's on top of the judge. So when he initially made a run, I thought, okay, he's going for the door. Last thing, I thought he was going for the judge, and I definitely didn't think he was ever going to make contact. It was so nice to the mayor. It was so nice to the city. It was such an incredible experience. And I mean, when the mayor first called me, I answered the phone, and I'm thinking to myself, who is this? The mayor? Do you have the right number?
The video honestly doesn't even do it justice as to just how fast it really was. I mean, it went from just any normal day to just, honestly, just straight, havoc. I mean, it was in a blink of an eye, and there really wasn't much time to think. You just kind of react.
I mean, I remember when it happened, and like the video was everywhere, and then you told me that was you, and I was like, what? No way. And I just I couldn't believe it, man.
I know. I wish I could have came on your show earlier, but obviously the sentencing was still going on. There were things in motion, so I just couldn't. But I really appreciate you giving me a chance and coming on here.
It's not every day that, a listener to the show is like a legitimate hero. I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, what ended up happening? Was he sentenced? Where's the guy who, attacked you?
Yeah, so basically, yeah, he was given the sentence he was going to get originally. He's got new charges that he's facing, and that's going on in a different courtroom with a different judge, and we'll kind of see where that goes.
Can you believe that when they brought me back to court, they put a muzzle on me, man?
Yeah, probably for everybody's safety.
Man, I ain't bite nobody.
That's unbelievable, man. I love it. A Jet fan is a hero out in Las Vegas.
And those clips of Judge Allen, oh my God, those had me dead. Oh my God, those are the best things I've ever seen. I don't know. I think Gatorade, those are incredible.
I believe you mean this right here.
I'd rather be the Jake Asman heel than the Robert Saleh truther any day of the week. But it's weird because I don't see myself as a heel. I think I'm a realist.
I don't want to hear none of that shit. You do not root for no damn New England to win shit.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
It's too good. It's too good. Oh my God. Thank you again, Jake.
Michael, you're the man. Appreciate you joining the show, brother. We have the best audience. I've always said it. That's as good as it gets right there.
Here we go, buddy.
All right, we're back here. Appreciate all of you. Please smash that like button. Thumbs up, baby. Helps the channel grow. There's only right now 185 likes, and there's almost 500 of you watching live. And there'll be thousands of you later who tune in. So thank you to everyone who makes this channel what it is. I got open phone lines if you want to in on the conversation. Up next on the phone is Jimbo, who was at the party Thursday night. What's up, Jimbo?
What's up, Jake? What's going on?
How we feeling, man?
I'm all right. I don't think you and I are going to see eye to eye about this whole Arian Smith thing because I'm not hands up like Mikey. I'm not trying to be like Gary here. I've watched Arian Smith for 3 years. I think he's solid. He does know how to take the top off the defense. Yes, the drops are an issue, but I thought about it like this yesterday. Say we throw him 100 balls, right? Yeah, 17%, but he catches, what is that, 73 balls? I'm sorry, I'm not the best at math, but 73, right? I just can't take the slander like that other
He's
guy.
not getting 100 balls thrown to him, though, and it might be like a critical moment of a game where the drop costs you,
No, completely understandable, Jake. Trust me. And I've saw some plays, especially this past season, where it was like
you
a
a Georgia
big play.
fan?
Yeah. I've stated this before on the show, but like I said, I didn't start bandwagoning for them for when they won the 2 natties with Stetson Bennett. I've liked them since Stafford, AJ Green, Todd Gurley, like those days. So I just think you got to give him some time, and that's why I make the jokes that he needs a bedside jugs machine, or he needs to have the Kobe workout regime, wakes up at 4, catches 200 balls, go gets breakfast, catches another 200 balls, goes get lunch, catches another 200 balls, whatever works. But my gripe with this draft was at least New England and Buffalo both traded in front of us to grab a DT. And I can't stand that. That makes no sense to me. Or the linebacker, I get we probably needed to fill up some depth and a bigger linebacker in the room, but I think that's where you probably could have taken a all right DT that maybe none of us knew what his name was, but whatever. So
we'll find out, Jimbo. Did you have a good time on Thursday?
Oh, it was great. It was great. It was a great time. It was great meeting some people. I wish I got to meet everybody because I felt like it was so hard to move in the beginning, but then once everybody was locked into the Knicks and the draft. But I think you need to pull this because this is how I remember where I'm in the chant. Nate, before the pick, Nate's standing on the table in the beginning, the front of the of Clinton Hall. So I think you might need to pan.
Hold on, Jimbo. Wait, stay right there. I didn't mean to knock you off. I was switching slides and StreamYard still
No
having
problem.
issues. So hold on. You're saying on the video of Ed leading the chant, we need to find Nate?
Yeah, so there's one of them. I'm pretty sure it's the one right before we picked, right? Because we did one like right as the beginning of like the event before the Knicks game started, right? And then I think there was one as Vegas was picking, and I'm like standing by the front of the place, and I remember visually just seeing the back of Nate doing the whole with Ed and his hands up, and it was great. So I just I had to give Nate his flowers on that because I probably would have done that too, but
I
I
like
thought
it.
it was a little crazy.
Let's see if we can find the footage here.
He's in like the top left corner of the video.
So I have only one angle here where it's just me and Ed on the balcony. I don't have the crowd shot. Hold on. I will work on this for you. We will get to the bottom of this. You know I love breaking down some footage.
No problem.
Hold on. I think I might have it. See, this is it. Oh, up there, right there.
Yeah, you see him. You see him.
Yep, in the Sean Green jersey, top left.
Yeah, and then
right.
I'm like slightly below to the right of him. Like I think you
Okay.
could barely see my head.
All right, from the top, let's watch it. Here we go. Hold on. It's got to play. Now it's not playing. Hold on. StreamYard is the worst. All right. Nobody use it. Don't give them your business. Unfortunately, I'm stuck right now with this. Here we go. Oh, I think I see you. I see you.
Yeah.
Love it. You had a good view of the chant.
Oh yeah, it was great. I saw the whole room. it was honestly like, Jake, I think I can't make it to the Yankee meetup because you said it's on a Sunday, right?
It is. Yep.
Yeah, I play in a softball league. We do double headers in the mornings on Sundays, and I'd probably finish right about the time the game starts, so I wouldn't want to rush. I definitely know gonna have to get to a meetup this upcoming season, whether it be if we do one like I told you, or you didn't find out, or you didn't meet my brother at the meetup. He's a Baltimore fan. He was wearing a Lamar Jackson jersey. So
Oh, really? I do remember someone there in a Ravens jersey.
yeah, that was my brother. So either if that is the meetup you do with like Baltimore, I know depending on when the time of the game is in the year, like if it's in the winter, I feel like nobody's gonna want to go down in the frigid cold. But then again, we are a bunch of crazy SOBs, so you know.
I love it. I love it. Jimbo, I'm glad you made it, man. Appreciate your call. Good job pointing out Nate in that video. That's awesome.
Thank you, Jake, and let's go Knicks. Bing bong, baby. Woo!
Bing bong. I'll be there tonight, Jimbo. Close it out in 5. Let's go. Papa Jet with a $10 super chat. 2 raffle entries, baby. Jacob Beasley's not beast himself. He is truly a member of the Troller Small Wiener Club. Super chat wouldn't let me use the word LOL. Thank you, Papa Jet. Appreciate that. Thank you. More of your calls right now. Purple Belt Mike is up next. Hey, Mike.
Yo.
Go Knicks.
Yeah, let's go next. So check out my work. All brand new. I'm almost
beautiful,
done.
Mike.
I
Tremendous.
just got to do the caulking, but it's got to sit for 2 hours. Today I did all the risers, which are these pieces. So the picture I sent yesterday, that was not done. And then obviously I had to glue and brad nail everything.
A handyman you are.
2 full days, baby. I'm not really a handyman. I just follow instructions on YouTube. And it's really not hard if you just follow directions. The hardest part is following directions. But yeah, so that is done. I'm going to get my floors stained. They're going to be, I'm not doing that though, because that's like dangerous. You got to have a professional do that. But I'm going to do like a light gray to match the stairs. And yeah, I'm actually getting a window. I know I might as well show you because, you know, get you to the layer here. So I have a outdoor room, which I'm sure I've shown on the show before. But
the Purple Belt Mike home tour, people.
So,
this is where we're at.
Yeah. So I got, you know, a table and I have my set. So in here is a Florida room. And this window broke. So just replacing that window.
Mike, go off the Wi-Fi you're on. It's your internet's choppy now. Call back off the Wi-Fi because when you were walking around the house, Mike, it was all choppy. Probably because you got too far away from your router. Comments, questions, super chats. We'll cut the line. Bobby Beasley says, "You'll never stop me, beast." Meh. So Bobby Beasley's in the chat, I see. Or it could be a fake Bobby Beasley. We don't know who the real Bobby Beasley is because Beast has never met Bobby Beasley in person. So that makes this difficult. Try and figure out who is Bobby Beasley. Could be any one of us. Taylor says PBM believes in achievement. That he does. That he does. All right, more of your calls before we wrap. Last chance to get in the raffle for the day. Let's say hello to Steven NYC, who is up next on our show. Steven, you got a camera? Uh-oh. Steven? No, Steven. This is what it looks like. Steven, you there? Sold. Any questions, Jets related, draft related? Write them in right now in the chat. This afternoon, we'll be joined by Dylan Terraman at 4 p.m. So we'll get Dylan's full thoughts on the draft class. We haven't heard from Dylan since right after the Arian Smith pick during our mega cast in the 4th round. Rich says, real question, how do you stop other teams from jumping us? You can. You really can. I mean, you could move up yourself if you're afraid of getting jumped. Remember, a couple of years ago, the Jets, I know for a fact because I was in Houston and had sources telling me this. When the Jets traded up for Breece Hall, they traded up in front of Houston because that's who the Texans were going to draft. I have that for a fact. Trust me on this. So that's why they moved up. They didn't think Breece would make it to wherever they were in the 2nd round. They were right. Houston took Jalen Petrie instead, who actually is a pretty good player. They just extended him. They overpaid, but he's a decent player. Ralphie says, Jake, if Olu wasn't a day one starter, why are we sure Membu will? Olu was not a day one starter only because he was behind a Hall of Famer. That's why. Membu's a day one starter. Johnny Boy, thoughts on which team could be our first home opener game? Pittsburgh, Monday night, Rodgers versus Fields. Done. Until Aaron Rodgers is not a Steeler, I'm predicting that as the week 1 game. It just makes too much sense. Boomtown says, everyone must be saving up their calls for the start of May when Asmaniac Power Rankings fire up again. That's right. That's right. The rankings return in May. We gave the committee a well-deserved April off, a.k.a. Boom. Which remaining free agents would I like to see signed? Mari Cooper or Keenan Allen? Foley Fatukasi for defensive tackle. Ralphie, Olu could have been the right tackle over Moses. They were not going to play Olu at right tackle. They wanted him to sit and learn. Moses was a veteran, still a good player. It was different. Membu's going to play right away. Steven is back, and we actually could see him this time. What's up, Steven?
Hey, sorry about that. I had to take a phone call. How you doing?
You're good. What's up, Steven? What do you got for us?
I wanted to talk to you about something. I wanted to ask you. No one's mentioning Sauce. Look at our draft. Look at our free agents. A couple of questions. I hardly remember. Do you think he would be a Glenn guy?
Sauce? Yeah, I do. I think they love Sauce's length, his height, his weight, his speed. I think Glenn wants to coach him up.
Coach him up to be a tackler, right? Back to when I remember in the first, was it year 1 or 2 with the sack on Skylar Thompson? The first play of the game?
Yeah, well, that was a rare blitz by the Jets where they brought.
Which they never did again.
I know, and it was great.
Years?
Yeah, it was awesome. They brought the corner blitz, and it was
won the game.
Yeah, it knocked Teddy Bridgewater out of the game.
It was Bridgewater.
Yeah,
that was amazing. I was at that game.
Me too.
I think you were
awesome.
too. Okay,
the Jets put up 40 points that day. It was crazy.
So let's just play this out. Listen, he's playing chess. Don't forget when they used to talk about the defensive backs and safeties. I mean, we remember Glenn. You were a little young. He was one of my favorite players. I mean, he's amazing. He's going to coach these guys. He knows more than we do. Listen, I know they said to Muji said that they're going to, re-up him. And I think you would agree or do you agree? Sign him anyway. But, who's to say that in a couple of years he's not that expensive anymore? He might be a trade ship.
Who?
Sauce, possibly, if these other guys, you never know. He's playing. We're going to be very deep and very skilled in a room. I mean, if everything pans out, we're going to be loaded and have too much in the DB and safety room, which is a good thing to have. But do you think this means anything about if Sauce really doesn't perform?
I think he's going to get extended, Steve. I think they're going to give him a huge contract, so he's on the team
that
for
makes
years.
him more tradable. Doesn't that make him more tradable?
Less tradable.
Does it?
Well, because why would you trade a guy you just paid big money to?
I'm saying maybe in a couple of years, there's no downside in paying him, right?
Well, there's cap ramifications of moving a guy.
Do you think there's any chance that
no? Steven, if they pay him, he's on the team long term.
Do you think they're definitely going to re-up him after the draft that they just had? Or I
actually think Sauce is more likely to get paid than Garrett. I think both will get contracts, I hope, before the season. But I think Sauce is an easier deal to do. One, he wants to be here. He's been outspoken about that. Not saying Garrett doesn't, but I think when you compare Sauce to Garrett, Sauce is very easy to do relative to the corner position, right? Stingley just set the market. Sauce has been a 2-time All-Pro. Stingley's only been an All-Pro once. I think it's right around what Stingley got as the base you're negotiating with. How do you determine what you want to pay Garrett Wilson? Stat-wise, he doesn't have as good of numbers as maybe he should compared to some of his peers because his first 2 years he had Zach Wilson, Tim Boyle, Mike White, Joe Flacco, all these quarterbacks thrown to him. And then this year he had Rodgers. He had a career year, but it was still a crazy year where you had Devontae come over midway through. It's a lot harder of a deal to do. I think they're going to pay both, but I think Sauce is way easier to get done. So I think that probably gets done
Absolutely.
first.
I'm just wondering, my question really is, and I guess you're answering it emphatically, this draft had nothing to do with putting pressure on him and maybe making him vulnerable.
No, I don't think they're going to trade Sauce Gardner at all. Okay. I know the two sides have already started talking about a contract too, so that doesn't sound like.
Now here's one other. Just throw this out there: Michael Carter.
Yeah,
he wasn't drafted.
Yeah, look, that's not crazy if they think. But who would then play nickel for them? They still need a nickel corner.
I don't remember who I was watching. I thought it was you. Who was talking about how when they did all of the analysis on how the defense in Detroit was played with Branch and how they did all that, a lot of these safeties played nickel. 40% of the defensive snaps, a safety was in the slot for Detroit. So that's where they came up with the analysis that's why they got the safety from Alabama. That's why Stevens may be moving to be the starting safety, and the safety from Alabama is going to rotate with Michael Carter, and Michael Carter's snaps are going to go down, in theory, if they follow the snap percentages that he ran in Detroit. And it makes sense.
It's possible. Yeah, and also Carter's dealt with some injuries too. So, how do we know he's going to be healthy, right? That's part of this as well.
And they didn't draft him, and he's valuable.
Correct. He's definitely on the team for this year, though. They're not
I love him. I'm just saying they're really deep, and hey, it's not a bad thing to be really deep. There's injuries also, right?
100%.
But I don't think Tony Adams is going to play that much. I think he's probably an odd man out.
I think he's on the team. They went out of their way to bring him back.
But... no, he's the backup, and I guess was it?
Well, he's the starter. Steven, he's the starter right now until someone beats him out. Now, could Malachi Moore win that job over him, and then you have
or does Stevens move? I think they think Stevens will play with Cisco, and the safety is going to really split time in the slot.
Right, and that would kind of Tony Adams would be the Brian Branch for Aaron Glenn. Someone said that earlier. I think Sabo brought that up.
It sounds good. I don't mind it.
They have talent on defense, Steve. They should be a very good defense. They have a defensive coach. They have an experienced defensive coordinator in Steve Wilkes. They have all pros, 3 first-team all-pros on their starting defense in Sauce, Quincy, and Quinnen. They just
And they just
extended
added
Jamie
to
and
it.
Sherwood. They have Jermaine coming back. They have McDonald, who's going into year 3. He should improve. Like, that's why I was so big on drafting offense early, because they have enough on defense with just coaching and the talent there to not be terrible.
Jake, you're getting positive. I'm starting to get a little. I'm hoping you're going to get to a 9-10 win before the season opens.
I don't know.
I'm hoping.
I'm rooting for it. I'm just, I want to be realistic. I don't see it right
want
now.
that to be real. I want you to get to a place where both of us, we're pretty close. You and I always are. We're not so far apart. I'd like to be a 9-10.
It's possible, sure.
Guy. I want it to be somewhat realistic, and I don't think we're that far away.
It's not unrealistic, I'll tell you that much. I wouldn't bet on it, but they have.
Start, right? We're only April.
They have enough talent. Yeah, I love your Steve. I love your passion. They have talent. It really, honestly, comes down to Aaron Glenn. If Aaron Glenn's a really good head coach,
coaching.
That's it. That's the biggest thing. If Aaron Glenn's awesome, they can win 9 or 10 games for sure.
And by the way, I don't know how many people are talking about this Miami linebacker, but a lot of the diligence I've been doing, let's just assume he takes Michael Clemens' place. Michael Clemens was on the field a lot, and that was way too much, and we could save $3.5 million.
Exactly.
So guess what? If that was your last pick in the draft, and that's all he becomes is a savings of 3.5, no personal fouls, and 30% of the snaps, that's a huge draft pick. Positive, baby.
I love it. Steven, you're the man. I appreciate you, dude. Great call. I love it, man. I wish we all could be as positive as Steven. Great energy. Yeah, look, I don't know if Barron is going to take Clemens' spot on the roster. We did talk about that a little bit with Robbie earlier for those who tuned in late. I hope so, though, right? I don't want Clemens on this team. He hasn't earned a spot in my mind. I don't think the Miami linebacker, Steve, would take his spot. Tyler Barron, maybe you confuse the players. Barron, who they took with their last pick 176. He's the guy who could be the Clemens replacement, potentially. Curly says Steven must be on narcotics. I got something cool to end the show with, but we do have one more important call to get to here first. I did want to read this comment from Big Fella. Steven negotiating with Jake on the win total, LOL. Yeah, I love his passion. Like, my win total projections don't mean anything. I've been dead wrong I haven't gotten the Jet win total prediction right since 2022. I thought they were going to go 7-10 that year. I didn't have them starting 6-3, 7-4, and then collapsing. I thought they'd start poorly with Zach trying to take that step, and then he'd get better as the year went on, and they would win some games. It was the total opposite. They won in spite of Zach early. Brees was incredible. Then Brees got hurt, and we know the rest was history. Brees and AVT in that Denver game. They were never the same. Then Mike White got hurt. We know what happened. But, the last 2 years, I thought the Jets were going to win 12 games. I believed in the talent. I believed in Rodgers. I believed in this coaching staff not being as incompetent as I thought. Thought they won 7 without him. Surely they're going to win 12. Don't get me started. But who cares how many wins I think now? I'm hoping they win 17 in the regular season. I don't see 12-5, though. I'll tell you that. You're never going to get me to that far. No chance. Andrew says, do you think the Jets should sign Nick Chubb? I don't think they're going to. No. Why would you sign Nick Chubb? You got 2 young running backs you drafted last year. Give them a shot with Brees. Ladies and gentlemen, the champ is on the line.
The only thing better than Alden shoes is Joey D, cause he totally rules. Jake, my brother, I'm high as a kite. I love everybody. Damn, this show is crazy.
Hey.
Bro, I was trying to call in like an hour ago. And I just had this guy who he was dancing. He was taking his sweet ass time, but at least I get to listen to you guys. I got to listen to Beast break down. Beast wrote in the chat needs a hug. I don't understand how you just don't hug little Joey, man. That little cutie you got. Just give him a big hug. That's what you need. But is that loading on my? I can't see it. I think my connection's bad. Do I sound good? Oh yeah.
You actually sound good. You can't see it?
Now I see it. Joe Douglas, look at Nick Shine.
The Joe Douglas jersey. What a moment. This is during your 10-hour speech as well, this photo here.
Hey man, yeah. Listen, I got those people to give you a round of applause, baby.
I love it. No, it was great. I enjoyed every moment of the whole night.
Oh, it was a great night, man. Chilling with you guys. You do throw a good party, that's for sure. That's why my wife on my 40th, I was like, yo, man, Jake throws these bangers, man. You might have to oh, my girl, Mimosa. Don't show
You
my
got
wife.
Hamburger behind you there. Love it.
Dude, I love meeting Hamburger. Me and him kicked it for a minute. The one thing about the parties, I don't get to talk to everybody enough. And he was making me laugh. He's a funny dude. I was really kicking it with Hamburger.
He's a great dude.
Yeah. Everybody's great, man.
You're in like so many of the photos. Like the camera guy specifically followed you the whole night.
Nick Shine told them, and Nick was like, "Yo, man, he came and got us. He pointed us out. I got a couple good pics with Nick Shine, so it was great, man. What a night. Look at Snowball.
What was going on what was going on here with you and JJ? Look at JJ looking at you disgusted that he didn't win as Maniac Madness.
So here, I'm whispering to this guy, the bartender. She was completely hammered, and this guy was hitting on her, trying to get her to get him, because she was taking a long time on that side of the bar. And I was telling that guy, like, yo, she just said that her boyfriend's standing behind JJ, so you should relax, because he was really giving it to her, like, oh, honey, sweetie, Big Titty McGee. He was saying some funny stuff.
What? Oh my god.
Yeah. So I was telling this guy, and JJ was just like, yo, I can't believe this dude is saying this shit. And
JJ is looking like, what the hell?
Dude, shout out to JJ, bro. I think he got married this past weekend. He hasn't told everybody, but he's got a fiance. They got married. He puts on a show with us, but he's a cool dude, man. JJ was cool, man. I told him he better keep Gator's name out his mouth. But I made sure to lay down the law for my boy. But JJ's a cool dude. We were kicking it too. I was kicking with everybody. It's a terrible picture of me, but
that's unreal. I didn't know that JJ got married. That's breaking news. Hopefully he calls in so we can congratulate him.
Hell yeah. Over to my Jets takes. I still can't believe how everybody's getting so upset over these day 3 picks and all the. It's just like, look, one thing we do have to realize is we are in honeymoon phase still with Aaron Glenn. And the one thing we can appreciate that he did for us is he is putting his balls on and authority. He's making decisions, and they're his. He's not afraid to make a decision, especially decisions we don't agree with, like Rodgers and things that I just completely disagree with. But he's doing it like he knows what he's doing. And until he proves to us that he doesn't know what he's doing, we just got to take it with a grain of salt. We can't overreact. This isn't his third draft where we have a sense of if he can evaluate talent or how he gets these players to fit in his scheme. He obviously, like Sabo said earlier, we drafted Arian Smith for one thing. It's not going to be like Corley where with Rodgers, it's like, yo, if you don't know my 800 signals and how to run my offense, you're not touching the field. It's going to be like, yo, man, it's 3rd and 3. And we don't want them in the box. So let's put Arian Smith out there. If he's gonna drop the deep ball or not, he's gonna run deep, and you gotta at least account to it. You can't leave him in one-on-one coverage. He's the fastest man in the draft. And then when he comes in the NFL, he's gonna be like one of the fastest players in the NFL. He's a burner. So, we drafted speed like it's a dart throw. Day 3 picks are a dime a dozen, man. So everyone gets so caught up on like what position we drafted on day 3. And look, from a D tackle standpoint, right? How do we know that like they're not valuing someone next to Quinnen who's supposed to be top 5 to 10 at his position? They're not looking at like Salah's defense was like take and you give 4 yards and you give 3 yards. You try to get to 3rd and 6 and you don't even try to stop the run with a run blitz. When did you ever see Salah do a run blitz? Like we're going to be bumping coverage. We're going to be blitzing. It's going to be a different scheme. So maybe they're not looking at D tackle as like, I wanted to draft that position in the draft. I know they got some big guy on off UDFAs. They brought in Nandi and, maybe they're big on Taylor. Taylor showed up last year for us. He looks like a pretty decent find. Maybe they're looking at the guys on the roster like they're going to get done what we need in our scheme. You know, like we're not asking them to do the same thing that Salah was. So I'm not overreacting yet. I am completely looking at it as Glenn either is going to completely surprise everyone and we're all going to be going nuts because he's going to win some games and look like a different team, or by week 4 we're going to be booing him. So this fan base has no patience. We don't have no patience.
No.
So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen quickly. And Aaron Glenn set it up for us. He set it up for us to either be all in on him or to him to fail and us already start turning. And how'd you draft this guy? And why are we doing this? And why are we weak at this? And so I'm not. It's just these draft grades. I love some of these the Asmaniacs with their C-. I would have gave him a D. It's like, man, you don't know shit. You don't know shit, bro.
Chef Kevin says, heard the speech isn't finished.
Everyone's knocking me for my speech, man. It's all good, baby. Listen, my one joke that I got to tell live, because I don't really even want to do the speech again. It wasn't going to hit right unless it was like live. And, you were standing next to me. I put my arm around you and tell jokes. Like it just, but my one joke I said was I was basically talking about my wife and how all the Asmaniacs were all like, oh, Mr. Bonesy won because of his wife's video. And, oh, you see Mr. Bonesy's wife? She's real nice. Oh, I only voted for Mr. Bonesy because of his wife. And it's like, yeah, my wife is a beautiful woman. But beautiful women are a pain in the fucking ass. They're high maintenance, they're expensive, and they're needy. And if I could do it all over again, I would marry a chubby 6 with a good personality. And as I'm saying this out loud, that's exactly what my wife did with me. She married a chubby 6 with a good personality. And that was my joke. That was the only joke I got to tell on the stage. And everybody was like, yo, man, you're taking too long. It's like, I know, man. I'm sorry. I came up here as a comedian mostly, and I read the room wrong. I read the party wrong.
Peter Castro says 3-hour speech.
Yeah, Peter Castro. Let's go, Justin Fields.
Hey, Bo C liked what you did there. He just sent in a $50 super chat. Bo, that's 10 raffle entries for you, my man.
My man, Bo. My man, Bo.
Love it. Love it. All right, Bonesy. Well, you said a lot. Good takes. Great joke.
Thank you, brother.
And
Appreciate
you have to tell the full.
I think I'm gonna keep it in the
roast of the Asmaniacs.
In the arsenal, man. I might have to keep it in the arsenal. Next party, I'll hit you with something.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up to the champ of Asmaniac Madness 2025, Mr. Bonesy. Now, folks, on the line right now is a guy who is claiming to be Bobby Beasley, Beastbreaker's arch nemesis. Let's find out if this is the real Bobby Beasley or one of the 7 or 8 different parody accounts that have been made during this one show alone. Mr. Beasley, is this you? Beasley? We can't hear you. Beasley, we can't hear you. He says role model and acquaintance of Beast, but we can't hear you, Beasley. You're on mute. Yeah, your mic. We can't hear you. Hey, call back on StreamYard using that same link, Mr. Beasley, and we'll see if we can hear you because we can't hear you. All right, so call back. We'll put you back on. Let me check in with Beast and find out if that's actually Beasley. Is that Beasley?
Yes, that is. That's a son of a bitch I want.
Why do you want him? What did he do?
He's a son of a bitch. He's a liar. He's a disgrace.
Calm down.
My
We'll
sister
get to the bottom of this. We'll get to the bottom of this piece. All right.
This is it, Beasley.
But
you are not Asmaniacs. You are not real New York Jet. You're a lion sack of dog crap, just like your life is. And I'm going to put you in submission with this belt. This is going to be your last rites. Do you have any last rites before I put you 6 feet in your grave? And Jakey, I'm gonna send you $20 for 5 memberships in cash in a couple days. So be expecting of it. You Beasley, you just exposed yourself for what you are. You son of a bitch. I'm not
What-
gonna tell you again.
What
This
did he
is
do?
my show. I worked my ass off to come on here.
It's free to come on here, Beast. He
I
just called
worked
in.
very hard. I put blood and sweat and tears and agony and grief and pain. And like
It's a
that
free
son of
show.
a bitch doesn't do anything.
We take calls.
Murders.
It's a Jet Talk Show, Beast. He just called in. I don't even know the guy. He didn't do anything.
He's kicking it for years. He's nothing but yellow. He's got a stain in his back. He's got nothing but yellow in his shorts, and he knows I'm gonna beat his ass from building a boat with this goddamn belt right here. So think I won't get you, Beasley. I got everything on you, evidence, and I got you right where I want you, boy. So don't even tempt me. And Dustin knows everything about you because you are a fake news.
All right. Let's everyone calm down here. All right. Bobby Beasley. Apparently that's actually him. Beast just confirmed it because we've had a lot of Bobby Beasley parody accounts over the last couple days here. Let's check in with Bobby Beasley. Let's find out and hopefully have a civil conversation on what exactly the backstory is between Beast and Mr. Beasley. Bobby Beasley, Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Jake. Hey, I was just in New York the other day. I flew out of JFK with my wife. Fucking beautiful, man. Every time I'm there, I feel like you guys treat me like I'm a fucking king. It's a beautiful thing. I'm a 36.
Where are you based out of?
I'm out of Milwaukee.
Okay, so you're in Milwaukee. You're a Packers fan, obviously. You got the jersey on. Got it.
Yep. I'm 36 years old. I know Beast is 41. If you do the math, it doesn't add up. But like, we went to high school. He was having some degree of difficulty graduating, and they had me there as a mentor for him. At 14 or 15 years old, Cary High School. Yeah, they had me mentoring him. He was busy in the back of the class, drawing dicks on fucking graph paper and shit like that. Just not.
Just a heads up, family show. So if you could watch the.
Oh, son of a gun! I've only heard clips of Jason talking on here. So
yes. It's or Jason is Beast. I'm assuming.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I thought his government name was Beastbreaker 666. So now we.
That's what we'll refer to him from this point forward as.
Beast, yep.
Beastbreaker 666. That's a unique name. Did he come up with that himself?
That's what his name is on the chat every time.
Well, son of a gun. That's a beautiful name. All right, yeah. I've known Jason for a while, and when I was mentoring him, he discovered that I was training to become a professional wrestler. I come from a professional wrestling family, and he would take all these stories about Cary High School, being prom king, and this and that. That's all stuff that comes from my life. All these stories that he's spewing out to the public, they all come from me. So, I mean, if that would be the backstory on where Jason comes up with half of the stuff that he comes up with, if not 100% of what he comes up with. He's taking that from my life.
When was the last time you saw Beastbreaker in person?
It had to have been like maybe a decade ago, something like that.
And so, how do you guys stay in touch? Like, what is the backstory? Why he doesn't like you?
Jealousy is what I would imagine. I hear about it from my friends every day. He's in contact with them after so many years, and I stay away. He seems like he's a pretty toxic person. So just from the initial minute or two of just being on the stream here, you can tell that. And I'm willing to get him help if he needs it.
So, do you know where he lives? We only know we only see Beast calls from his attic, the lair.
No, the lair, absolutely. As far as I know, he lives in Illinois.
Well, that we know. He has said that on the show.
He's also said that he's gone to New York and all these places. He's got a daughter. As far as I know, he's never left the state of Illinois.
He doesn't have a daughter?
I don't want to be the guy to spill the beans, man. But yeah, as far as I know, no daughter.
Is he a Jets fan? You can't say he's not a Jets fan.
I would imagine he's a Chicago Bears fan.
But he has actual Jets gear.
I think he probably bought that before he got on your show, man. I I, I,
No.
I can't confirm nor deny anything.
How do we know you're
I'm just
telling the
telling.
truth, Beasley? How can you prove some of these
Unless you hook me
accusations?
up to a truth detector, man, it's hard to say, right?
Well, there once was a woman who called in named Julie that was his sister-in-law. Is she not real?
No.
She called it.
I would imagine she was just trying to get an appearance on the show, more than likely.
Interesting.
I don't think anyone's out there claiming Beastbreaker 666 is a relative. Not willingly at least.
I don't know. She called in. She was the sister-in-law of Beast.
The only person that's claiming him is his mother, and that's not by choice now at this point.
Damn.
She's been feeding it for the last 40 some years, man.
Seems like
God
the chat
bless
is
her.
not
She's a good woman too. She's a really good woman.
It seems like the chat is not totally buying all of your story here, Bobby Beasley. Is there more you could share to try and validate what you're saying?
No, that's about it, man. You're not buying it. What's there not to buy?
What other aspects of your life has Beast taken then?
So I'm a professional wrestler. He claims to hold so many belts in professional wrestling, this and that.
He's a world champion, yes.
Yes, a world champion. I'm sure you guys have heard that on the show many times. Yeah. He got thrown out of a show in Illinois for doing commentary right next to the commentary table at a very loud volume. And he wasn't asked to come back after that. So
was he
broadcasting? That's probably the last
at
time I saw him too. God bless him, man.
Was he broadcasting at the
No, he was just doing commentary to himself.
Okay. Question
Just
from Nick
blaring.
Shine. He says, "Are those glasses prescription?"
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Gary says Beasley is as maniac material. Chef Kevin says Beast has been to Japan. He holds the belt. I believe.
Oh man, there's a lore to this. This is beautiful.
What is your response to that?
He's never left Illinois. Not a fucking day in his life.
Interesting. He claims to have been to New York many times.
No, that's a claim, man. Doesn't make it true, right?
Well, basically, we have two sides to the story now, and I'm not saying you're not telling the truth or anything like that. It's our first experience with you, Mr. Beasley, here, so I'm just trying to get some more background information on the whole thing.
Is there a possible way to bring him back?
Beast, call back in, put your camera on. The problem with that is he's just going to start screaming and yelling, and no one's going to be able to understand what's happening here. Jay Quest is requesting the yearbook. Do you have a yearbook that could back up any of this?
This is from like 2007, man. I don't have anything like that anymore. My mom might have it. I might have to go dig through the archives and look for it. But yeah,
okay.
he was 20 years old, still in high school, man.
Gator says, "What actual evidence do you have for your claims?"
Other than just messages from friends. And they can attest to it too. I could bring a friend on the show that knows the both of us, and can attest to it.
Interesting. All right, let's check in with Beast right now.
There are layers to this, man.
Bobby, you stay on hold. I can't put you two on the same screen because if I do that, I mean, all hell can break loose.
Oh man, do a side by side. That'd be wonderful.
I mean, this could get out of hand quick.
Oh, look at that!
No.
Jason, it's good to see you, my friend.
Calm down, Beast.
Easy, pal.
Say I can't take the
Oh,
risk
come
immediately.
on.
Immediately.
I'll let him say. I'll let him say his piece. I've got no problem.
We'll go
got
back
no
and
problem
forth.
with that.
All right. We'll go back and forth.
Absolutely, that's fair.
All right. You stand by, Bobby Beasley. Hold on. Let's check in right now with Beast. Beast, what's going on here? Is that Bobby Beasley?
I've heard some low down hot trash in my life. In my 30 years, I've heard some hot bullshit from a clown like that. That guy is a disgrace to the Asmaniacs, New York City, and many others. He's not effing married. He's a disgrace to mankind, and he's that lion sack of dog turd. He doesn't know me from 10 years ago. I never even met him 10 years ago. I met him in 2022. So you know what? Take it to the bank, Beasley, because I will make a man out of you, boy. And you know what? You see this right here? You know who this is, you son of a bitch? This is Uncle Louie. And I'm going to make sure your ass is going to get whipped like a government mule, and you boy better realize who the hell you're dealing with. I've been on this show more times. I've bled, fight, kick, scratch, and did more than you. You never earned a dime in your life. You never contributed. You never put pound anything else in this fucking show, loser. I wipe my ass what you think. I do more than you, and I got more balls than you. You're nothing but a yellow stain in your little whitey tights on your bed thing.
Breaker 666. He's the man who would kick your ass, and then he's gobble-goo.
Okay, any response to anything B said there, Bobby?
Yeah, man. He says he wipes his ass with what I think, or with what he thinks. If you ask me, man, I think he's not wiping his ass. I think he's fucking sitting on the end of that Uncle Louie he had there. I don't know what his obsession is with me, to be honest, man. And I've been hearing this a whole lot, that he's been talking about me like every single day, and I don't get it.
Yeah, we've heard a lot about you, but to our knowledge,
well, what have you guys actually heard about me? I'm curious now.
We just basically, Beast does not like you, obviously. Just that you're his arch nemesis. He's screaming and yelling that you're invading the show. You're in the chat. Huh? To my knowledge, this is the first time you've ever tried to call in. It's the first time I'm seeing you. I didn't even know what you look like.
I just wanted to get to the bottom of what was going on here. I mean,
how did
just
you find
from
our
talking
show?
to me right now, Jake, do I seem like I'm a bad guy?
I don't know you, Bobby Beasley. I don't know you.
Okay.
I'm not.
Well, just first impression, would you say?
My first impression is you seem like a normal guy, but I don't know you. I don't know your backstory with Beast, so I'm not casting any judgments just yet. I just want to know, basically, how did you find our show? Like, how did you get? How are you basically alerted to the fact that Beast was yelling and screaming about you to my audience here on YouTube?
Because my name was mentioned so many times on the show that it's come up. You know what I mean? I got friends that live in New York. I've got friends that live in Jersey. I've got friends all over the place. And they said, oh, man, this guy's calling in. He's saying all this stuff about you. So I was like, Jason? And, there it was. And I just went back and went through your archives, and I've seen all this stuff, and it's like, wow, weird.
You didn't eat his guinea pig, not his current one, but the previous one. That was an allegation being levied in the chat.
That he was putting it up his ass, or what?
No, that you ate his guinea pig.
Oh, no, no. I don't do anything like that. I'm vegan, man.
Gotcha. Okay. And little Joey, we've seen him on the show, but there was another guinea pig that Beast had previously mentioned that you did damage to. Is this true? Did we lose Beasley? We lost him. His camera cut out. I don't know what to make of this, folks. Nick Sean writes in, explain why you describe yourself as a role model. If he calls back in, let's say, I think we got him again. Bobby, you there?
Yep, sorry about that.
Okay. Explain why you describe yourself as a role model in your name description.
Oh, in high school, they had me mentor Jason because it was hard for him to concentrate. He was shouting obscenities at kids and stuff, and no one really knew who he was talking to. So they needed someone to keep him on the straight and narrow, and that's what I was willing to do, whatever it took,
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is a wild saga here. The bad fella is smelling the criminality on you. He's not buying your story.
I don't know what else I can do to sell him, man. It's all I can do is just be genuine and just be me and tell you my side of the story. I'm not trying to pull the wool over anybody's eyes. I'm not trying to take anybody's spot on the show or anything like that. I would never do that.
Anthony says this has to be the best television content ever. I cannot stop laughing. This is the greatest show on earth. All right, we're trying to get to the bottom of this, Anthony. I don't know what's happening here. The problem is I can't put Beast on with you because he just starts screaming and yelling, and there's no way to have like a back and forth, and maybe you guys can find common ground. Like, is there any path for you two
if you were to ask me how to handle the situation, Jake, and I know you're not, but if you were to ask me, I would say get his side of the story. Come right back to me. I'll give you a response.
All right, I'm going to ask him.
That's the only way to do it.
All right, we'll go claim by claim then here. I'm going to ask him what you have specifically done to him, and then I will come back to you to give you a chance to respond to what's true.
I'm going to tell you where I think it stems from. I got married last year in Mexico to a beautiful dentist by the name of Britt, and he obsessed, he fawned over her for a really long time, and it broke his heart. I know it did. Uh, but I don't think he's been able to let that go.
Okay.
So
let me check in with Beast right now. Stand by. All right, Beast. What is true here? Calm down. Don't scream and yell.
That Mexico story of him being married, it's false. It's falsely advertised because Britt Baker lives in Orlando, Florida, and he lives in Wisconsin. So I'm going to tell you, like right here, this man is a joker, a three-trick pony, and he lies like Vince Russo. Anyone who knows this man, Dustin knows all his tricks.
We
and
don't
I know
him.
all his tricks. Don't think I don't know the son of a bitch? I know now. I spot all his lies. He ain't nothing but a fat liar. He never went to Curie High School. I have friends in security. I have friends in the lunchroom, friends in the front office, and friends in many other departments. So I don't know who this man think the hell he think he is. I got news for him. His days on this show are going to be canned like dog turd and canned tuna.
Did you meet him in high school? Was he your mentor, Beast? Let's start there.
No, he never went to Curie High School. Never did. He was in Wisconsin. I was in Illinois. So I don't know where this man comes up with all this clown world bullshit. It's nothing but clown world. It's fake. It's fraudulent. It's phony. And you know what? He's a fraud. Always was a fraud. Will never amount to nothing except zero. And you know what? Just like the back of his short says it, he is a liar with a yellow stain right up the back. And he's nothing more than delusional and suffers from the delusions of grandeur. He's not an Asmaniac. He's not a Jet fan. He's a Packer spy and a wannabe. I've done more bleeding. I've done more time. This man hasn't done jack besides hiding in his basement with his little pink panties on and a tutu on and parading around in gay Chippendales like a clown boy. Facts are facts.
You done?
Take it to the bank, Jack.
Okay. Let's go back to Bobby Beasley. Now, Bobby, your thoughts?
Apologies to the LGBTQ community out there. I went to Cary. I definitely mentored the man. I've got pictures to prove it too. Now that I'm looking through my Facebook right now, I can send those to the show. I've got no problem submitting that.
Okay.
And that has to be enough proof, right? I mean, that's got to be enough proof for the audience.
Well, the two, we want to see some photos of you two together.
Absolutely, I certainly have those.
Because Beast claims that you never went to the same high school.
No, yeah, I hear that 100%, but what actually happened is completely different from what he's saying, and I've got evidence to back that up.
Do you have the photos available to send to me?
Yeah, like right now.
That's what the
I've got no problem calling back in tomorrow. We can continue this.
Well, hold on one second. Mr. Bonesy, our champion's on the line. He wants to lawyer you up. So let's get to the bottom of this.
Oh, absolutely. Bring him on, man.
So, Bob,
can always use a friend on my side, man. I appreciate it.
First off, why the fuck are you even doing this?
Doing what, man?
Why do you care?
Because I've got a big heart, sir.
A big heart? What do you mean a big heart? What do you care what Beastbreaker
Oregon,
is
right?
telling you?
Somewhere around here. Why do I care?
Why do you care what Beastbreaker is telling you?
Because he was a struggling friend. He was a struggling friend in school, and damn it, I care.
You guys,
I can still see that he's going through a tough time. When I knew the man was 20 years old, laying on his stomach, playing with action figures, still in high school, sir.
Bobby Beasley, I'm sorry to tell you, you guys didn't go to the same high school. You guys met at some fruity wrestling event, and now you're just messing with the guy. Stop pretending and listen.
I resent that comment, sir. I resent that comment.
Listen, sir. You are just trying to ruin Beastbreaker's big moment. I don't care what you say. Half the stuff Beastbreaker tells us, we know is bullshit. Who cares? He's our guy. So you coming on this show, you're doing nothing for him. If you cared about him, you wouldn't come on here dogging him and making him act like his whole act is a whole.
Oh, what have I said? What have I said that has dogged him?
Dude, you're.
What have I said that was irrepressible? That's tore him down? Because I don't think I've said anything.
Have you guys met?
I've had the opportunity since I've been on here. Did you guys
meet at a wrestling event? Just tell us that. Did you guys really meet at a wrestling event?
Did I meet him at a wrestling event? Yes. No, I met him in school. What the hell are you talking about?
Bullshit. You did not meet him in school.
Yeah, Cary High School, man. Class of 2007. Go back in the archives and take a look. Wow.
Zero chance.
Man, I've heard of Delton Thomas's in my time, but man, you're taking the cake right now. Unreal.
Listen, bro, if you cared about Beast, there's no reason you would have came on
Hey,
this
don't
show.
bro me, man, all right?
Listen, brother, if you cared about Beast, you wouldn't have came on this show and exposed him with what I said. Listen, I'm sure you guys know each other. You seem, really cool.
He seemed to recognize me as soon as I came on here.
Of course, I'm sure you guys met at a wrestling clinic or something. Beast is into some weird stuff, but you don't come on this show pretending like you're making up this long shot story.
I've heard my name was mentioned on this show before I came on. This wasn't me stepping on anyone's toes here.
Go to your mother's house, get that yearbook, and show us that you were in Beast High School in Chicago.
Right, would that make a believer out of you?
How do you know that Beast is a Chicago Bears fan and you're a Packers fan and you live in Wisconsin? When did you move to Wisconsin?
I moved out of Illinois in like 2015.
And you're a Packers fan.
I've got family up here. Yeah.
You're a Packers fan now.
Yes, absolutely. I've always been a Packers fan. My dad's from Milwaukee. So
so you're a Packers fan. You grew up in Chicago and you went to high school with Beast. And
my dad got really ill and
hold on.
actually
you were the man in high school and the teachers asked you to take care of the kids.
Yeah. You're breaking up there, pal. I can't hear you.
So internet.
Are you an actual lawyer or what, man?
Yeah, I am a lawyer. Why?
Fantastic. No, I was just curious.
No,
there's no retort. I was just curious.
So you're telling me that the teachers had you taking care of the special kids in the back room, right? That's what you're telling us.
It was like a pure mediator thing, yeah.
A pure mediator. So that's what they did with the kids in the back. I thought the kids.
Yeah, I think that was the official title. Yeah, pure mediator.
Gotcha. Well, I'm sorry, Bobby Beasley. I smell bullshit. So I think you should go and get your Facebook pictures. I'm sure you listen. I know you. I got
pictures on Facebook. I'll submit the
yearbook.
I'll do whatever you want me to do. All right.
Show. We need the Facebook. We need the yearbook. I need to see you in high school looking cool and taking care of Beast. All right, that's what I got to see.
Mr. Bonesy,
absolutely.
Mr. Bonesy, don't go anywhere. He never went to Cary. I got
it. He did go to Cary. He's going to denounce the claim all day long, but it doesn't change the fact that I was.
Mama, you know what? He is a clown, and Philly Noodles is right. You are
2007. Was I not prom king in 2007? Come on, man.
Prom king.
Prom king. Yeah. You know that.
You never went prom king. No,
class clown 2 years running. Absolutely, I got that award too.
Liar.
All my awards, and you've been claiming them. I've heard.
All he has is his balls in his mama's purse because he knows he's nothing but a little jugger boy, and he likes clowns.
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, I know what it is. You like to pose for little boys in gay porn magazines.
I don't even know what the hell that is, but somehow you do. What's going on?
Joe, just for the record, chat and everybody watching, I'm doing this for little Joey. That's my man, and I love the animals.
Support little Joey.
Bobby Beasley, you need to show us a lot more proof. I still don't understand if you cared about Beast for a second. You wouldn't.
There's an episode 2, man. I can guarantee it. You want?
In the crawl space where the shadows crawl, beast breakers, pork swords ready to maul. Little Joey squeals tear through the grime. Beast mounts up for a filthy climb. Grease slick hands and gabagool breath. Beast rides high on the hog of death. Little Joey's bucket can't break the tide. Thrashing and bashing on a piggyback ride. Splinters bite and the beams collapse. Joey's back arching under Beast's grasp. Moonlight ripping through mold and dust. Two beasts grinding in attic lust. Beast rides high on the hog of death. Little Joey's bucket can't break the tide. Thrashing and bashing
That was one of the most insane moments in the 4+ year history of this program. Wow. Wow. That's all I have to say. Just wow. What a show. I'm back at 4 p.m. Eastern today. If Bobby Beasley calls in, I'm expecting him to produce a diploma, yearbook. I need more proof because right now it seems like the chat is believing the beast in this war between him and Bobby Beasley. Seems like it. Comments are all over the place. Unbelievable turn of events. Unbelievable. We got lawyer Bonesy on the line. Just wow. Unreal. On that note, I want to thank you all who watched today's show. It was remarkable. Hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed because that was something. Unbelievable. We're back today at 4 p.m. I will hopefully have more information on where we go from here. Before we leave, though, if you missed our draft party, here's a little look behind the curtains. Go Jets, and thanks to all the Asmaniacs who made that night so damn fun.
The Asmaniacs roll, the party's alive. Jake Asman's the fire, keeps the vibe in drive. Fireman and chant echoes the air. Jets, 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 we're everywhere. Let's go Jets, we're loud and wild. Born to cheer since we were a child. The green's so bright, we're never confined. As many as forever united we find. Charles Gorman shines, a star on the floor. With Mr. Bonesy, we're harder to ignore. The songs, the chants, the spirit, the bond. The night keeps going till the break of dawn. Let's go Jets, we're loud and wild. Born to cheer since we were a child. The green's so bright, we're never confined. As many odds forever united we find. Let's go Jets. Let's go Jets. Let's go Jets. Mr. Bonesy. Mr. Bonesy, it's great to have you, but it's time to get the fuck out right then. Everyone.
I got just the guy to get us going tonight.